How's it going, everybody? We've got another CAF update for you on this wonderful Thursday evening, and a full slate of things to talk about. And we're going to start off with the Heritage recap, of course, but I've got con updates from C2E2 and Megacon, as well as a few other fun and interesting tidbits from the hobby this week. But Heritage Auctions is the thing that we're going to discuss first, and we've got our all-star cast. And I'm saying that without Mike Berkey in there and calling this our all-star cast, because I believe they are a group of all-stars. Let me bring them in. I see Dina Mauricio is in the green room, and we've got Nick just sitting down. And Mr. Albert
Nick.
Boy. Look at that. How's
Hello,
everybody
Bill.
doing?
Hello, Albert. Good, thanks. Good. Hello, everyone.
Hey. Hello.
Albert, you look naked without the Windex.
Sure.
So, well, it's good to have all of you here. And Albert, it's been a while, man. You've been traveling the globe, it seems like, having vacations and enjoying retirement like you'd never have before.
Yep. Got to live life.
Understandable.
You look so excited too.
Very.
Well, Albert, just to get you kind of in the right frame of mind, we're going to start with you first, and your picks for the show. Yeah, but before we do, I should go over the kind of the review of the total numbers from this auction, and let's see here. So comparatively, you can see $5.9 million in original art sales from this last signature auction. 776 lots closed. The average price per lot, $7,683. That is the second lowest amount in the last year and a half, or two. What is that? All the way back to 2021.
2 years.
Yeah, so we are just over 2 years. So it's definitely interesting, because if you look at April from 2022, that was the high watermark for original comic art auctions, of course, and that was at 14 million. So that's at $14,000 per, almost $15,000 per lot. So definitely a reduction in the overall sale amounts, and really, I mean, that could be because there weren't the giant home run pieces, but something definitely to keep an eye on. I know we'll have another signature auction in June, and I don't think this is indicative of anything. I've been watching the eBay sales go down as well, and since we really can't follow any other auction houses as closely with regards to like Comic Link, Comic Connect, or Hakes, just to see what their event auctions are comparatively, it'll just, we've got to just keep our eye on it. I think that when a lot of the lots that we're going to talk about tonight are I think are very interesting. I think everybody picked some decent stuff from high to low, and that was good to see. Any initial thoughts before we dive into it, though?
I think this auction was more measured. It was just calmer, so to speak. Strong items still did well. There were a few things that fell between the cracks. It always happens, Not everything gets bombastic money. And I would say that this is the first auction in like 2+ years where some of the prices realized maybe were a little bit more anticipated. I don't want to use the word predictable, but I'll say like within the range of where you thought it would go. There wasn't as much that went, oh my God, look how much it went. Still some great prices, still some pieces that we were like, wow, I can't believe it got that much. But not, as you said, not like last April, or probably not since early 2021 to mid 2022.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I think a lot of people are calling this the first buyer's market in a long time, where you can get kind of reasonable prices, and the expectation of kind of pieces, growing each auction is kind of a little bit pulled back. There were 6 flips in this auction of things that were in previous Heritage auctions, and all but one of them realized the lower price, which is something to think about. And while Bill said there wasn't any kind of these big marquee pieces, there were a lot of these yes but pieces. These are the the right book, but not necessarily the right page. So you have Tales of Suspense 39, no Iron Man. You had a Dark Knight Returns, no Batman. You had a Frankenstein plate, no Frankenstein or the monster. And you had a Hush page, no Batman, or one panel of Batman. So
that That page did really well, though. That Hunt page did really well.
But we'll talk about
Of course, he's going to do
it.
well.
It did sell privately. It sold privately 3 months before the auction, and we'll talk about what it sold for. So,
Okay.
but that's a high level comments. Albert, what do you think?
Thought it went what it should have gone. That Dark Knight page. I mean, the Hush page went pretty well. There was a lot of buys at this auction. The list I sent were I thought were good buys, and certain things that I thought was really nice, and it went for some good money. So what the hell's that? But anyway,
Goodbye.
goodbye.
Strong price. So that kind of helps.
There we go.
You get some visual aids.
We all need those.
You
Wait a
gotta
minute.
put it on the paddle, though. It's gotta
Yeah,
be on the
I didn't have
paddle.
enough time to
It's gotta
that.
be like in the auction.
I get better props. Yeah.
Next recap, I'll make sure I send out props to everybody.
That way you guys are talking, I can just raise that.
Dang. All right. Well, like I said, Albert, we're going to start with you.
The good buys. Every time they say good buys and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that the new word instead of
Bye.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, that right. This is a more of I thought a dealer's auction because there was a lot of good buys. Things didn't go very crazy, and certain things went nuts. But yeah, I thought yeah, well, went pretty fair. There was an awful lot of crappy John Byrne pages in this auction. A lot of crappy John Byrne pages.
Say mediocre. Let's say that.
Yeah. That's what I thought it went for.
But you know, and I'll be honest, I didn't look a lot at the signature auction lots because I'm not typically don't bid in those. But when I was going through and checking out which lots I wanted to pick out and talk about, I mean, I was surprised like how many Silvestri X-Men pages were in there. I mean, that usually is a bad thing to put, you know, to have so many of the same artist title period stuff. I thought a lot of those pages, I might have picked one, you know, all finished a little bit lower than they might have if you only had a couple in there for, you know, I don't know if I saw a few other artists and titles that were sort of like that, but I mean, typically I'm in a signature auction. I think we're looking more for, smaller amount of pieces from an artist or title. And there were, at least in that case, just far too many.
There was more Byrne than I think even Kirby this time. There was a lot of Byrne. By the way, everybody hit that thumbs up. Just want to throw that out there. So, but yeah, no, it was definitely an interesting auction. And somebody picked the Marvel Knights cover, so we will talk about the Marvel Knights cover when we get to it. So, Albert, let's start with you.
Let's do that. Here we go.
Chris Norrick, never too many Silvestri X-Men.
Yeah, I like Silvestri X-Men. I just was surprised. It was like I just kept running across another one and another one and another one.
Just did pretty well, though. I thought the Silvestri did pretty well. And they didn't.
I mean, you know what? They went from like high 3s, low 4s to like mid 6s or mid 7s. I mean, I think if they were a few standalone ones, you could have had them finish in the 65 to 85.
Still did pretty strong for what they were. There weren't anything outstanding. So there weren't really any outstanding Silvestri pages. Did you think there was a really great one? I tell you,
no,
Wolverine.
The $7,000 ones went nuts. I thought that was kind of stupid, actually. But anyway, yeah, I picked this one because I thought this went for a pretty good buy.
Stupid thing. Yes, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the darn sign-in from Heritage. They always do this to me. But yeah, this one was one too that I was a little surprised that I thought I was going to go for a higher price.
Yeah, I thought this one went pretty low. But not a great price. I mean, but it's a pretty fair price. I mean, I thought this one kind of low. I know Nick thought the same thing too because he kept asking me, "Did I buy it?" And I said no.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was surprised that it went for this price. I mean, I know it's only Spider-Man's head, but you got Demogoblin and you got Ghost Rider coming right at you. So a little surprised at the price.
Yeah, and really good McFarlane Spidey pages will push 40 to 50. So if you're getting a double splash, and you're getting Ghost Rider here, you get Hobgoblin, you got a lot of content, a lot of good action on the page.
Nope, I agree. I figured it was the lack of all you had was a Spider-Man,
Spidey, yeah,
headshot on this thing, and that wasn't enough. And I guess McFarlane Ghost Rider fans weren't as interested, but yeah, I mean, I was expecting it to do a little better than that too.
Yeah,
But there's also been a lot of McFarlane coming out. Murdoch put up a good comment. If you see it, Bill, it's actually funny.
That one,
Yeah.
we get stupid auctions, and there was enough stuff. Yep, that could be. That definitely could be.
I do think there's been a lot of McFarlane. There was also the McFarlane page on Comic Link that the person who had it was shopping it around for almost double what it sold for on Comic Link. So I think there's just a lot of it out there right now with the success of what they had last year. So it's all coming out. So
makes sense to me. And we've talked about mentioned rights in Frankenstein plates. What do we got here? We've got a
even though this doesn't have the monster on it or Frankenstein on it, I really like this plate. I thought this was one of the stronger plates without the monster on it. I really like that, and I thought it went for a very fair price. I thought it would go higher, so I actually like this Frankenstein plate. And no, I did not get it, but I really like it. But I thought this
beautiful piece. I mean, the inking and the feathering and cross shading is just excellent. I mean, it's a good representation from this plate.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this was a nice one. No monster, but still a pretty nice one.
Yeah, but before the pandemic, the one with a monster or Dr. Frankenstein, those were like 45 to 60, and those are obviously much higher now. But you get a lot of really good rights in art here, and it's a dramatic one. It's from the published book, which is even more valuable. So
yeah,
love it.
Okay, next.
I know. Where's that next paddle? All right, Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes cover here.
I thought this was a great buy. I thought this went cheap.
Yeah, whoever got this, I no comment. I stayed away, and wow. So, did you get it, Albert?
Yes, I got it.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, good one, Albert.
Nice.
Yes. This went so cheap. I couldn't believe how low this went. But I was happy to get it, and I was surprised no one's bidding against me. Yeah. I tried to buy the splashes later on, and they were going for almost the same price as this cover.
I know. When I saw that this cover went for what it went for, I was like, "Oh God, I hope." So I was glad you got it.
You have to go to the bathroom. What's going on, Nick?
It's the agony of missing out.
No, it's not the agony of missing out. It would have been the agony of somebody you knew not getting it. If somebody's going to get a good deal, you hope it's a friend.
Now, I wasn't able to watch the auction live at all, unfortunately. That's one of the first ones in a long time I haven't. I mean, what was the live bidding like? Was it not as aggressive?
A lot of the comment, it really depended on who the auctioneer was. There was a woman who was really not actually talking about the art, but she's trying to get people to bid. And the other, the male, was kind of talking about the intrinsic value of the art and how rare they are, and look at this. And,
yeah, but he didn't know what he was talking about, though.
So they didn't have their usual ones.
Okay, well, I totally.
No, the girl was super fast. That's why I know. She kept pushing it, which I like.
And she never talked about the art. All it was about numbers.
You like it, Albert, because you didn't consign anything.
I just wanted to go. Stop dilly-dallying around. Just move it, man.
You're always impatient, Albert.
I know. Just keep it moving, man. This thing. I hate these like $1, $2, $3. Those are one that went on forever, and it went from $1 all the way up to like $300, and it kept bidding like $5 at a time. It was just ridiculous.
I think we saw a lot of less bidding pre-live, so there's a lot of big jumps, when the live bidding started. I think people now.
Next.
Man, look, I clicked it just as you said it.
Look at that.
I really like this daily. I like this Harriman daily. I thought it was pretty cool. I was the underbidder, but I kind of regret not bidding higher. I thought this was a funny gag. I like this one. So, with the ghost and everything, I really like this Harriman, and I lost. I was the underbidder, and then I kicked myself for not bidding higher. But I really like this. So I thought this went cheap.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty fair price.
congratulations, whoever bought it.
Yeah, I'm actually leaning towards it's about time I get a Harriman one of these days.
Well, this was one to get for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good entry point. I mean, a full page Sunday will run you 10 times this. The painted one.
Next
Yeah, this
time.
one went kind of low. I mean, because it was from the 40s. I don't know. I mean, maybe because Ignatz.
Well, I thought that you wanted something like ideally 35 and earlier before you started using.
Well, you always want
different
one with the brick, you know, Ignatz
brick
or something,
and all three
Officer
characters
Pup in it, you know, everyone on it. But I just like this gag. I like the ghost go ooh, and I thought it was funny.
That's cool. I don't have a Harriman either, like Nick.
Yeah. Next.
This
Same
was
with
a
me.
good. Oh wow,
But,
Nick, you got it.
All right, what do we got here?
Actually, I thought this one went cheap too. This Donald Duck Daily, I thought it went really cheap. The other one on Sunday went for like 9,500, and this was half the price. So whoever got this one got a good deal. I thought this one went cheap.
I don't know this market.
Comments, or you guys hate Al Teleferro?
I don't know.
I don't know the market.
Yeah,
Okay.
not at all, unfortunately. But you're saying a similar piece sold for more.
Yeah, on Sunday it went for like 9,500.
Okay.
Oh.
Better gag, but
Well, it's also good that when you get the three little ducks too, right? You get more characters, and usually I see these that Donald Ducks are full pages from a couple of books. I haven't seen strips in a while.
This is a strip from 1938, I think.
Mhm.
39.
So this is 38 or 39. This is pretty hard to find.
Yeah.
But you guys don't really care about it. So
Did you get this one, Albert?
No, I lost. I was in the bidder on this one too.
Well, if you weren't the underbidder, you might have driven the price up a little bit more.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to push it up. Anyway, this Wallywood page, I thought this one went a decent price. This one went pretty cheap, I thought.
Absolutely. I mean, these wood Daredevils were
Daredevil all over the place, in every panel, and then thought it went cheap.
I think 3-4 years ago, these pages, wood Daredevils were 25. You know, Berkey was selling them for 25, 28, 30. So just given the time that's still out, it's good buy. Yeah.
I love it. I think it's beautiful.
All right. Okay, next.
Twice up too.
Yes, that's true.
I was the guy. I was the lucky guy who won that page.
Yeah,
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Oh, good, Nick.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I actually ended up getting both wood Daredevils.
Oh, with the one in on the trapeze line.
I wasn't crazy about the second page, but the first page you got a really good deal.
But you got Matt Murdock on the other one, which is kind of cool.
And you have the Wax Museum with some of the Spider-Man villains, which I liked. And you've got the Ox and Mr. Fear. So it was kind of cool. Just both got lucky on both.
Okay. I was the underbidder on this one. I really like this painting by Glenn Fabry. Kind of reminds me of the White Flag, So I thought I'll get my own.
Jasper Johns.
Yeah. So but I couldn't beat whoever was bidding against me. And I
actually went after this too, not at this high level, but I love the flag motif. All of the characters are in there, like Killer of Saints and Preacher, and all the supporting characters are hidden in the images, and it's really unique and striking.
Yeah, I really like this one, but I just couldn't beat that guy. Whoever won it, I was bidding hard on this one. I lost. I gave up at the end. I said, "That's it. I'm done." And I lost. But this is a good one. I like this.
It is really nice. So you don't always know who you're up against, huh, Albert?
You don't.
No, I don't know. Heritage don't tell you anything.
No.
Yeah. CJ, I have the prelims to number 7, not 5 or 6. Number 7.
What are you talking about, Nick?
CJ was asking if I had the prelims to Daredevil number 5, and it's number 7 with the Submariner. I have the Wallywood preliminary pages.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Okay, next. Okay.
Hey, see now? Oh, I'm ahead of you now. Except for these darn sign-ins. All right, here we go. Mike Grell and Bernie Wrightson.
I
That
didn't even know this
was
combination exists.
that is
didn't.
an incredibly beautiful page. I love that page. Sorry,
Wow. I wanted this page, but I wanted because such a weird combination of Grell and Wrightson.
yeah.
And both doing Batman, which is
Yeah,
I mean,
which
that's awesome.
So I thought this was an unusual combination, and I never had a page by both these artists together, so I bought it.
Good one, Al.
That's a Albert. That's a great buy, and this is one of the best pages in the auction. So congrats.
You know, no thing, whatever that
Yeah,
thing.
Dino.
Oh,
Where's the
absolutely. No, I
Look
think
at
it was
you.
obvious.
You're behind the times already.
No, that I appreciate. I mean, and there's one that Bill's going to talk about in the Sunday auction, which combines Wet Burn and Ditko, which is again a combination you never see often, if at all. So
Yeah,
good buy,
well,
Albert.
that one.
And this is from 76 too. This is
Beetle story.
it's a really nice page. Well, congrats, Albert.
Yeah,
I mean,
congrats.
I didn't see
I love
this
it.
one, and it's a combination. I can't say
I
I've
didn't
ever-
even know about this
before.
combination. I didn't know
No.
that he inked Grell. I really didn't. I missed this one, but no, I was happy to get it.
All right, now
This Kirby piece I thought was the steal of the auction. It only went for 3,300, and this thing is massive. It's
I was just
30
going to say this isn't a 9x12. This is 20x30. Wow,
Oh,
It's on a 30 by 40 board or something like that. It's gigantic. So I
Wow.
thought this was a really good deal.
it is. I mean,
No
I'm
doubt.
surprised. Yeah,
Unfortunately, when I was bidding on it, the guy kept bothering me and said, "Please stay off it." So I stayed off it, and he got it. That bum, and he didn't even show up.
33.
oh, Berkey.
Well, it is it's a great image, but
Yeah, I thought
it's
this
huge.
was a really good buy. This is the steal of the auction.
It is
Why don't you
beautiful.
put it up for $15,000?
Oh boy,
It'll be on the site tomorrow.
yes, exactly. We got one more here from you, Albert, and it is the Al Williamson Secret Agent Corrigan strip.
I really love this daily. I bid really high on this, and I lost. I tried very hard to get it, and this one went nuts. Over $4,000. I pushed this guy as far as I could, and I just gave up at the end. But I thought this was a great daily. Oh well, I lost this one, but I really like this, and but it's overpriced. But I do like it.
I mean, all the panels are fantastic, and it's like everything you'd want out of an Al Williamson piece. I mean, this is it's like textbook strip work here. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you were going to overbid on an Al Williamson, this would be a good one to do it on. Sorry,
I really like that daily. Just unfortunately, I couldn't beat that guy, and I have several of them, so I just I said, I'll let it go. But it's a great piece.
Definitely.
All right, so if we're going in
alphabetical,
Go ahead, Albert. Sorry.
I said that's all I got.
No, Nick, you should go next. You go next. I went first last time.
Will should go next. We're going in alphabetical order.
I was going to go last just in case we were running late.
Okay.
I was trying to be diplomatic to give my guests the opportunity. So who is it? Who's going to go? Is it going to be
Nick? Nick will go.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Let me hide the screen here. Bring the other one back in.
85 watching, 40 likes. Hit that thumbs up, everybody.
Hit the like.
DJ.
Whoops.
Thank you.
All right, get back in there. There we go. All right. Reset.
So this one popped last Monday when Joe was doing the preview with you, Bill.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about how cheap this was, which it was.
It was at the time.
It was. It was really cheap. It inched up a little bit over the next 2 days, but then in the live auction, this really popped. And I thought it went for a really strong price. And then I found out Mike won it. So I was like, wow. So a strong price. And I guess one day we'll see how much he puts it up for. But
10 years from now.
yeah, 10 years from now, it's going to
Are
go.
you kidding me? Mike puts it up tomorrow.
He'll be up there. He'll be behind him on Dueling Dealers. But
Right.
you know,
He does
it was
put
a-
certain
10
things
minutes
through
from now, you're going to see up in his wall.
I think the
Oh,
only
right.
reservation here, I mean, for this price is certainly what a twice-up Daredevil cover could sell for, but the image itself kind of held it back. I mean, yeah, I think, you know, when he's on the ground like that, but that is Doctor Doom's hands, which is kind of a neat addition, and you don't see these twice-up covers that often. So, you know, I think if a good splash, colon splash, will be 40, 45. You know, a cover for 60, that's reasonable.
I thought it was reasonable. I didn't think it was high.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No.
I outbid Berkey, but I just felt bad for him.
Giving him your scraps, Albert.
Yes.
All right. So let me take. Oh, I remember we talked about this one too, John. This is a beauty.
It is gorgeous. So on this one, I can't tell if it went for the right price or if there was a little bit of a deal, but it's just a gorgeous cover, and I just wanted to show it. It's just great. You got Swan doing a great Batman there. Yeah, just really liked it. Wanted to show it. You know, the fact that a DC twice up cover went for the same amount as a Marvel twice up cover, you hardly see that anymore. So you've got Marvel just outdoing DC. So yeah, just thought it was nice, and it was a good one to point out. Did you go after this, Albert?
I would have liked to have won it, but no. You know who won it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we pushed each other up to the max. I didn't want to bid any higher, and he was willing to go a few more higher than me. So,
yeah.
Well, congrats to them. I really
yeah,
like this
I
image
just
a lot.
know that for some whatever strange reason, even though these are rarer than Marvel covers, they don't really sell that well. But I'm just saying about retail. So
Right.
DC art doesn't really DC choice up covers. They're not selling all that well, but I still like this image. I think this is pretty cool with both Batman and Superman on it. So
I like having Fortress of Solitude and the Batcave mentioned. And, yeah, that's nice.
But you know, he paid 60. I don't know if he's going to get 75 or 90 out of it, but maybe he's keep it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, and it's just the fact that it went for practically the same price as the Daredevil. So, like I said, the fact that in an auction a DC twice up will go for the same amount of a Marvel twice up, but this is a cooler cover than the Daredevil. Daredevil is one of my favorite characters, but this just is a cooler cover, just with what's going on. So, yeah.
I've seen those flying.
Are great.
Those Klein Supermans. Yeah, Klein Supermans were selling at 50 to 55. So for 60, you get Batman.
Yeah, I think this is a good cover, and if you compare the colon and this, I'd rather have the Swan.
Mm-hmm.
But value-wise, I think the colon will probably be worth more money than this. For now, I don't know about 10 years from now, but I think 10 years from now, the Daredevil will still be worth more.
Maybe if they ever come out with a good Superman movie, they might change things.
I don't know.
Don't know. Never know. All right, what do we got next here from Nick? We've got that Kion Incredible Hulk cover that just went a little shy of 50 grand.
Yeah, again, this popped, and it is, to me, it's beautiful. So it felt like it went a little stronger than I thought it would. I thought it would cap out at about 40, but it's the Defenders. So you got the Defenders on the cover. All I can say is thank you, Anthony, Dueling Dealers, selling me that one page for $1,000.
Yeah.
All right, so I picked this one up. So this is my Kion Hulk. The 369 sold for 50 plus last June. So I was expecting this to go a little bit north of 50, but I mean, having the Defenders on it, I would think, at least for me, it would be more desirable than Hulk only. And I love the inks in this. I think it was a great representation of the cover. And I think if on cap, there's only one other Hulk the Kion Hulk cover posted. That's by Harry's example. Obviously, there's others out there, but it's quite rare on the site. So, I wanted one. I missed out on a couple before, and I really like this one with the Defenders. I'm a big Defenders fan.
Congrats, Dino. It is beautiful. So
I love it.
Dino, how much is the one with the machine gun one go for?
That 93. That was 93? A year and a half ago.
All right. Well, that one was my favorite one, but
that was a killer
for
one.
93 and this one at 48, I'll take this.
Yeah.
I mean, but I like Farmer Inks more than McLeod's, but this is a pretty good cover. But I mean.
Yeah, Farmer went later in the run. I think McLeod.
Yeah, I like the later run stuff.
6 or 7. Yeah.
But this is still pretty good. I mean, you're right. It has the Defenders on it, but it's a good cover. 48, I thought was what I thought it would go for. I didn't think it went cheap. I didn't think it went crazy either. So you got a good price. Was that little thing that you have?
Oh.
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. Is it goodbye?
I'm feeling so left out. I'm sure Nick and Albert are too. We've got to coordinate next time, Dino.
Yeah, we'll get paddles next time.
Come on, man. You're really falling behind. You're like in a daze or something.
Well, I'm waiting for the cues for the.
Right.
Okay.
You set the props up and you don't even use it.
I'm too engrossed with you, Albert, in the conversation.
Engrossed with me? Oh my gosh!
Fascinating.
Hey, Nick, you're feeling left out over there. Albert's
and Nick too. Nick's got some great pieces.
Nick loves it.
Oh boy! All right, so now here's that Jim Lee Batman 613 page, the Hush storyline. Right, we got Batman in one of the panels, and but two there, right? So
two. He's down the bottom. Yeah.
Yep. Forgot about that. So
but you've got Harley Quinn in the older costume that a lot of people like, and it went for about the right price. This definitely hits all the right marks. If you got Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Batman, beautiful page. So congrats to the winner on that. I thought about this page, but I just felt hitting it would just drive the price up, and I'd still end up not getting it. So
apparently this one sold for 66 less than a year ago in a private sale. Obviously Hush pages with good content, and here you have Batman here, a great kicking scene that's reminiscent of 608 cover where Batman's kicking. It's always going to be in demand, and I think this fell short of what these consigners' expectation was, and certainly you could see it going higher, but I think it settled at a price that someone got a pretty good page.
Yeah.
Wow, this sold for 66?
66, private. 7 months ago.
7 months ago. That's a good hit.
That's what I'm told. So
I don't know. 66? Really? Somebody paid 66 for this? Wow.
Yeah, Harley.
You never know.
Well, Harley was hot, and Jim Lee's Scott Williams Hush always going to be hot. Right?
Yes, it will be. Yes.
Yeah.
My next update is going to have some Jim Lee and some Jim Lee pieces.
How about that?
Yes.
More covers?
Price though, huh? All
more covers.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything but covers. So
that's what I was thinking. Man, well, I can't wait to see what they go for, considering they are at the top of the food chain these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful page. I mean, beautiful art.
All right, now switching it over to something from Liefeld and Barta from New Mutants 91. Let's get on this thing here. There it goes.
Classic Liefeld, huge shoulder pads, huge arms, big guns. Pretty good price, a lot of New Mutants. And what's this, like the 4th appearance of Cable? I can't remember exactly.
So I own this page. I sold it at CAF Live in 2020 for 28. It came back to Heritage last year, sold for 36, and then came back on the market here 43. So obviously demand for Liefeld, Cable, New Mutants high. This is a full team shot, which is really great. And you got the big gun in pockets, all the good representation from the series.
You do, and you had the success of the Liefeld original thumbnails from the last Heritage auction that really helped excite people on Liefeld, and there was very few Liefeld pieces in this auction. So I think that all added up to this getting a nice price.
No, I remember this one from Comic Card Live, Dino, too. So I was hoping you were going to mention that. But yeah, I think that's awesome. I mean, that to see a piece appreciate like that, and you know, whatever, barring what everybody always says about Liefeld and his work. I mean, people really who are
Passionate about it.
Yeah, passionate about his comics back then are still passionate about his art, which is it's good to see. I think, and I love this image too. So. Seeing it still continue to rise in value is a good thing.
Yeah. Chuck Arnold.
Cable looks like he's going to vacuum something. Well, whatever. Or exterminate something, actually. I think he's more of in the pest control side of things. But yeah, very, very nice piece there. Now, moving over to a Daredevil 254 page, John Romita Jr. I know that you're a fan of Typhoid Mary.
You have the cover, don't you, Nick?
I have the cover to 256 or 30.
56, okay.
Yeah. So the funny thing I'll say about this is a strong price, but I do think had this been in the auction last year, it probably would have made even more money. This is still a good price. Don't get me wrong. It's still a lot of money, but you had a couple of panel pages last year. Like you had one where Typhoid Mary threw a plate at Kingpin that went for over $30,000.
Yeah, that's right.
So considering that those pages weren't as compelling as this page, and this is 254. This is the first appearance. It's got everything going for it. So to a degree, I was actually a little surprised that it went for this price. But again, it's a little bit more tempered of a market, and it's still a lot more than it would have went for 2 years ago. So,
and I think in the same auction you have that DPS from Man Without Fear sold for about the same amount. This one has Kingpin first appearance. That this is a much better value.
Yeah, absolutely. If I didn't have the cover, and what I do have is I have the double page spread Origin from 254, where Kingpin's watching the TV screens, and it has her whole origin.
Mm-hmm.
I would have went harder for this, but I actually somebody went after it, which also helped me bow out. So it had a lot of reasons for me not to go for it. Although he didn't go as high as I thought he would go, he didn't get it. But still, it's not bad, baby doll. You gotta love it. Listen, John Romita Jr., Al Williamson, and Nassetti, they were magic on this book. They created so many compelling stories. I mean, you've got everything from this, the Christmas one-shot, the Devil in the Bar, you've got Typhoid Mary, so many new characters were created, so many great story arcs were done. I mean, this is up there as one of the greatest creative teams on Daredevil. So, like I said, the money that it went for is strong. The only irony is last year probably would have done a little bit better, but you could say that about a lot of the pieces. Just everything's more tempered right now. It's to a degree. Thankfully, it's more tempered.
And we got another Daredevil piece here, Nick, from Tim Sale this time.
Gorgeous. And Tim Sale, you know what? God, that is so beautiful. I wish I went harder on this. It's just as much Tim Sale. Thank you. As much Tim Sale as Heritage has been putting in, they've been getting really good prices on it. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So that's it.
Well, Heritage,
great image.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a few Tim Sale Daredevil pieces in the last few auctions, and they've all done really well. I mean, this is an incredible piece. I mean, it's and being on a DPS as well. I mean, this is just it's stunning, absolutely stunning. 36,000 seems pretty spot on, I think, for that. Yeah.
This reminds me of my Man Without Fear DPS when he's at the end of the book where he's running out, he's jumping off the building. That's
right, exactly. That is that John Romita Jr.?
It's Romita Jr. as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful image too. Yeah, very similar. Well, good pickup here by whomever got it.
Yeah, whoever got it, congrats. Oh, nice, Wayne. That's awesome. You got a Lee Weeks Typhoid Mary. That's fantastic. Congrats.
Yeah, hey, Wayne. I got to see Wayne at Megacon last week. All right, so Nick is going to end things with this Capullo Batman 50 pinup.
Listen, for a pinup, $26,000. I thought that was a really strong price. I mean, look, it's Batman and Catwoman. It's gorgeous, but just thought they got a really good price on it, and I thought it was worth showcasing.
Well, Capullo stuff is always going to be hot. I mean, that's for sure. And so, I get it. 26,000 is high, but if that were a cover, what would it go for?
At this point,
10, better than most of the covers.
Another 20.
Huh? This is better than most of the covers. But this is a good, strong image. I thought it's a very strong price, but I can understand it. Because his art's so kind of hard to come by. He does things digitally. And this is a strong image. So you have to buy what you can get. And this was a pretty good one. But
yeah, I mean, Greg absolutely puts his art at a premium. And I think part of it is that if it doesn't sell, he doesn't need the money and doesn't care. And so that's keeping the prices up. So, but congrats to the winner, because, if you're going to pay a strong price, this is a good one to pay a strong price on.
It certainly looked great on the wall.
Yep.
That is for sure. All right, Nick.
Good pick, Nick.
Yep, definitely. So let's swing over to you now, Dina. And let's see. That's what I get for having too many tabs open, but let's go over to here.
So these are all picks that I tracked, and I did some research on them, and hopefully I can comment on what we found. So,
all right.
So the first is this beautiful Gen 13 J. Scott Campbell piece. From a comps alone, you'd think this would be as a splash, mid to low 30s, because covers go for low 40s. This sold for 43, but I just wanted to point out how outstanding this image is. It has all like three major characters. It's actually twice up, and what's interesting, if you pan out from the art, the way he drew this is absent straight lines. So apart from the lines on the floor, you notice all the pillows are curved, all the women are done in curves. Even the drapes have almost like pant leg type curves. That there's curves on the floor. Again, it just creates that image of just. I mean, he's showing off some really strong stuff from the artist. It's not a cover, so I think it's a strong price, but a great example, and without a Stan Lee signature like right in the middle, I think it has a little bit of a premium. So I liked it. I chased it for a little while, but wow, when it jumped, it jumped. So
that is a cover quality piece, though. That
Absolutely.
Is a cover quality piece. So it's just amazing how little Gen 13 art is out there and how much it goes for. You would think if the price is being realized, more would come out, but it's still not coming out. That's a good idea, Dave. Thank you.
That's right.
Trying to suggest things, but 43,000 is a pretty strong price for that.
Strong.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that though.
That actually was going to be one. That was actually one of my picks, and then I saw Dino pick that. I was like, all right, next.
I thought it's worth highlighting.
Right. Well, I mean, every time you see a Gen 13 page from this era, it's always doing really well, especially, covers, pinups, splashes, those sorts of things. But
I mean, you got Fairchild, you got just Betty Page.
We got it. You all right. Let's go next. Come on, I got 15 minutes.
Okay, I can roll through.
Yes.
New Mutants 30. So this actually, I thought was a good buy. It sold on eBay, I think, for 35. before it was snapped up really quickly. It went back to auction. I think, well, first of all, I bought this one. I love the pencils. I'm a big Sienkiewicz fan. I think it has just the right image in terms of his feathered inks, and I just think it was a dynamic cover. If you scroll down to the UPC box, Bill, in these UPC box, he actually dedicated it to Jellies, which is the local Honolulu comic shop. Jellies, the good old time comic shop in Honolulu. So I thought that was a kind of neat tie-in. But anyway, I think from the consigner standpoint, he got back pretty much what he it sold for before the premium, really what he bought it from, or that it sold on eBay. So I think he was expecting, or the consigner was expecting more. I don't know. I thought it was a good price for a cover of this quality. So really happy to get it.
Did you say you won it?
I won it here. Yes.
Congrats.
I loved it.
It's a really memorable cover.
No, it is. It's beautiful. If a good thing I don't need to start a Sienkiewicz cover tip jar, because I could never.
Oh yeah.
But no, I mean, this is I think New Mutant stuff is always going to be highly desirable over some of his other stuff, that isn't Electro or whatnot. But no, I think this is pretty much right where I would have expected it to go.
Yeah, I love that. There's no spot blacks here. Everything is all lines and shading, and so anyway, I liked it. I went after it, and glad to take it home.
Congratulations. Nice. All right, so Travis piece now.
This is a piece that was, it's hard to put a value on this. This was actually owned by Dave Mandel. It was put up, I think, if you look at comps, there was a $27,000 to $33,000 piece that sold previously, but this is X-Men. So I think as an image, this is outstanding. I knew it was going to go high. I think at 33, I wouldn't blink, because I think it's just such a great example of his work, and he doesn't have many pieces come out that are covers that are X-Men. So I think it's high, but I think given the quality of the piece, it was certainly understandable.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love Travis's stuff, and he definitely did not do enough X-Men work. So
it's a great cover. I like it.
That's beautiful.
Did you get it?
I didn't. This is not my core period, but I was just interested because I knew who owned it previously.
Mm-hmm. All right, so 33.6 on that one, not bad. Now switching over to Zach Beatty Secret Wars page.
So I have no idea if this is a good price or not, but if you're going to get an example of a Secret Wars page, this is a good one, because it has Doctor Doom, it has the X-Men full team down there and below, it has the Molecule Man up top. So you get kind of a lot of the key characters that are in the story. Obviously Mike Zeck, great artist, and if this is the storyline that the next Avengers film is going to be built around, there's going to be a lot of demand for it. Now, other pages have sold between 8 and 12. I mean, unless you're talking about splashes and stuff. So for this to go 14, I believe, I think it's worth the extra 2. I mean, I think of as an example, this was a good. The other ones in the auction went from 6 to 8, but it didn't have the X-Men, didn't have Doctor Doom. That's kind of what you'd like in a page. So that was a good buy.
I do not follow the market enough to know, but yeah, I would agree with you. If that was what the other,
I mean, you can get one example. You want something like this, right?
Yeah, no, I'd want one with X-Men on it. So yeah, this would be a page I'd want to get for sure.
Sorry, I hate Secret Wars. I thought that
the dialogue is a bit lacking, but
I thought the whole
Cyclops saved the day.
The art was not Zach's best.
Well, and the Beyonders are back right now, so
yeah.
I hate Secret Wars stuff. So anyway,
sorry, Albert.
So McFarlane, he only did one issue of Daredevil. So if you want to have a Daredevil page, this is your chance. Two other McFarlane Daredevil pages from the same issue have sold before. Actually, September 22 for $10,000 and $28,000. This one kind of in desirability falls between the two. You have these marvelous Daredevil in motion panels, I think was just outstanding. So at 10,008, I think it's a great buy. I think this is definitely more desirable than the one that sold in September at 10. And I expect it to go mid-teens or higher because of the scarcity of McFarlane Daredevil.
Wasn't a fan, so nothing to say about it.
You could say something about it. You could say that
it's ugly.
You still know the market. You don't have to like it.
It look like McFarlane.
It doesn't look like McFarlane.
It does.
Next.
Well, there you go.
It looks a little like McFarlane. It does look a little.
Yeah, a little.
But is it Milgram Inks?
A little bit.
Is it a little bit?
Just a little bit.
All right.
But again, he only did one issue, so it's special. I mean, if you're a McFarlane collector or a Daredevil collector.
Stick to Spider-Man.
Next.
All right.
Albert's cracking himself up.
Absolutely.
Now,
Marvel Premiere #1. Okay, this is Warlock is going to gain some a lot of attention with the new Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Just on CAF, somebody was trying to get 10,000 for this, or is it a different page?
I have no idea, but this was the one. There's 2 pages in his origin that you want. It's this one and the next one. The next one has him getting the Soul Gem, and this one has the Fantastic Four. I don't know. I tracked it because I wanted to see how it would go. I thought, from a historic standpoint, it's actually a really nice one. And you don't find Marvel Premiere. It's the first Warlock because he was him before, right? So there's a lot of historical value here. I think $10,000 for the history, it would be a good investment for Warlock Cosmic fans. I wish that the actual origin actually takes place in the next page. This is just the setup when he was him. So maybe that took away from where it could go. But I tracked it because I was interested. No, I didn't.
Nick?
No, I didn't win it.
Oh, well.
There's a lot of cosmic collectors out there.
Right, exactly. Well, that should have influenced the final price a little bit too. But yeah. I mean, I can see why the other page is a little bit more desirable, but still, this one is pretty slick.
Bootlegging is a habit. There's somebody I haven't seen in a while.
Hey, bootlegging.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Hey, bootlegging. Cyclops sucks. Everybody says that. I'm not. I got nothing to say about it.
No Cyclops love here.
No, never.
All right, I'll be quick with this. It's a Tim Sale, really nice Captain America splash. They actually had the first 5 pages in the auction. I thought at $6,000 compared to the Daredevil ones that were selling for 5 times more. Yeah, I thought this was a good buy. I thought I contemplated going after this and the page 2-3 DPS with Red Skull. I thought that would make a good pairing. But this was so late in the auction. By the time you got to the S's on the 5th day, it was like you had just been 20 hours in auction. It was just a lot of tired bidders out there. But I thought this went cheap. I think
it absolutely went for below cheap. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I wanted to go after this and the next 2 pages, and a friend of mine said, "Oh, I'm going after the splash."
Oh, I mean, it would be great to put those together because you got.
I didn't even think to ask which splash. Like, I just assumed this, and then I'm looking at it like, wait, is he going after page 1 or page 2 and 3? So I emailed him, which one are you going after? And he didn't get back to me. So I let them both go. I think this and the page 2 and 3.
You get both for 17 or 16. I think that was a hell of a deal.
Yeah, and these are great Tim Sale Captain America pages.
The stories,
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're gorgeous. So congrats to the winner. They definitely did well.
I tell you, the only reason I took this off my list, if you can scroll a little bit down, Bill, it has the Nazi symbol on the bike, and I didn't. With that, I kind of thought, well, I don't know if I got this but didn't get the Red Skull DPS, then it would kind of look out of place. So anyway, I should have. I didn't realize it was going to go.
Well, turn it this way, and it looked more like that Buddha.
That's right. Anyway, I thought again, late in the auction.
That's what whiteout is for.
We don't do that to the art, Nick. Nick loves comics and art. He does not, deface them in any way.
I'm kidding.
Actually, a funny story. There's a guy that had a Kirby Thor cover, a twice up Kirby Thor cover, the one with Super Skrull.
Mhm.
You guys remember that one? Them
Mhm.
charging each other.
Yeah.
When Coletta inked it, Super Skrull looked like he was cross-eyed. His eyes are like the eyeballs are off, and it looked really weird. So the guy just couldn't take it anymore, and he took like
Oh no.
white paper, and no, he didn't
Okay.
white it out. He just put it on the eyes, and it looked a lot better.
Yeah.
Because everyone hated it because it was, what's with the cross eye? And then when he put that little thing on the eyes, that maybe these,
Well, Coletta takes away Kirby art anyway, so
yeah, but it
when
was
you erase-
pretty funny when I said,
Is that like,
That's
is
fine.
that like the Captain America 100 cover where they redrew the face and stuck it on?
That's right.
anyhow.
Okay, one more to go.
This is pretty. I thought this went decent price, but I thought this also sales worse of the Marvel jobs. I really didn't like his Captain America too much, but
Yeah,
this
but
is
these
a
three,
good price
but
for its Flash.
these 3 pages were great. These 3 pages were great. If you're going to get any pages from it, these were the 3 to get.
Yeah, I wasn't really fond of the story, but if you like the image, yeah, this is a good image.
Yeah,
Swastika's there, but he took a Nazi's bike.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
happened to the guy that was riding it? I'm sure he's beat up or something like that.
Yeah.
He's
Think of that.
roadkill.
All right, one more piece.
Hey,
here.
So the last one. This is a DC Treasury. I'm a big fan of those books, and I like this a lot. I thought you had a good image of Superman. You got the globe in the background, the city. I wish that his image were a little bit bigger, but at $3,000, I thought it was a great buy. I didn't get it. I took it off my list when I kind of limit myself to certain targets, but I like it. I thought with Superman, and again, this is 70s or early 80s, 81, I think. I thought it was a great image, and I kind of regret not going after it because I like the Treasury stuff. As you can see from the Hulk, I kind of dig the Treasuries.
No, it's a great image, and Ross Andrew. I mean, got a lot of Ross Andrew fans. Great cityscape. $3,100. I mean, that was this. I assume this was Sunday.
This is late this Sunday. But this is the Fortress of Solitude. I think the inside cover sold for $12,000. So I mean, for $3,000, you get this first page splash. I think it's a good buy.
I agree. All right, good picks.
Well, I got to tell you, Sunday did feel like it was running long. I texted Albert. I was like, you know what? I'm doing some food shopping right now. I didn't want to sit in front of the computer, and I texted Albert saying, "Hey, can you bid on this for me?" And he was like, "Why can't you bid?" And I said, "Well, I'm out food shopping." So 10 minutes later, I'm like, I finished. I paid. I texted him back. I was like, you know what? Never mind.
They're still on G's.
It's not even anywhere near it. I'll be home before we get to that lot.
It took forever.
Nick doesn't know what Uber Eats is. You can deliver to your home. Anyway. It was a long ass
auction. Do I look like I don't know how to eat, Albert? Do I look like I don't know how to eat? I know how to eat.
You just don't know how to shop.
That's right. So congrats to the winners.
Oh, you got yours? Let's go.
I can go through mine pretty quick here.
We can do this.
Yeah, definitely. So here, let me.
Come on, team effort.
Here we go. Sorry, moving a couple tabs around. So I had to go with the Cockrum Giant Size X-Men page at $50,000. I think that I'd love pretty much all the pages that have come out from Giant Size the last couple of years, and I think this is pretty much a fair price for it, right? I mean, I think they've all kind of fallen in this mid 40s to a little bit higher than that. So $50,000 for this page didn't surprise me. And if I had $50,000 to spend, I would have gotten it after that. Because look at that great image of Cyclops in the first panel. Everybody is the selling from the beginning.
This is a great page. No, this is
History.
a great page.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
But again, something that definitely I think held its value, where it should. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that I was going to do a little bit of research just to see where all the giant size pages have sold in the last 3 years. I didn't have a chance to, but I felt pretty comfortable thinking that $50,000 was about where it should be. Bootlegging says he felt it was a little low because Cyclops sucks, of course. All right.
Yeah.
At any rate, I like all opinions out there. Next up, was that George Perez Wonder Woman cover that went for $20,000. I was actually thinking this one was going to go a little bit higher.
I thought it was going to go higher.
I think it's super cheap.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more like 30 or so. I mean,
it's the reason why I didn't go for it. I thought it was going to hit 30 to 35. It's a really, really great cover. I mean, the Paul Smith panel page went for the same amount of money. So, I mean, a Paul Smith X-Men panel page went for a George Perez cover. Now, I get it. It's Paul Smith classic X-Men run. I get it. But, geez Louise, this definitely, whoever got this got a good deal.
I think so too. Very good deal.
Right. I mean, Perez Wonder Woman. I mean, that's outside of his Teen Titans work. This is what you want. And I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Albert?
I thought it went for a fair price. I didn't think it was that cheap. If I had it for $25,000, I still think I have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Albert. I don't know about that one.
Well, I like this image a lot. I thought I was going to do a little bit better than that, but that's all right. It's still, I mean, it's a great image. They did well with it.
I don't think I could have got more. Anyway,
Trailer Hood sub, nice, cool.
Nice.
The new subs. So about the same price as that one, though. John Romita Jr., Al Williamson, Man Without Fear. I mean, we've shown a lot of Daredevil, I guess, tonight, but sticking with this one. Nick, what do you think on this one? Because you know the market a lot better than I do.
I thought this was going to go for more just because of where the prices have been, which is the reason why I didn't even go after it. I just thought this was going to just exceed 25, but I mean, not that 19,000 isn't a lot of money, but it's like I said, this was a more measured auction. So it's a beautiful page. The page I was actually going for the most was actually the smaller page with Stick and Matt in the bar. That's actually the page I liked the most. It just had so much character and it was so cool. And out of all the pages compared to what that page was worth, that's the one that went for more money.
And did this one sell a couple years ago? I mean, it looks similar to it.
Yeah, this is on CAF for.
Yeah. I know I've seen it out there, but I don't remember if it sold or not. But it doesn't surprise me.
it sold twice.
Sold twice. Okay.
Yeah, I had it. I sold it. Brunswick had it. He sold it.
That's where. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's when it's out. It just kept going up. I think Brunswick was trying to get, he's the doubler, so it must have been 20 grand he asked for it. So it must have
sold it for around 10, huh? He's the doubler. I like that.
I sold it for 10.
Hashtag doubler. I'm going with that. All right, what do we got here next? Okay. Next one is that Marvel Knights cover.
This went for. This was a surprise. This went less here than the Comic Link auction.
Yeah, I mean, this is I picked it because I mean I love Quesada Mickey, and it is an iconic image. And you get Daredevil, who's Quesada's work on I've always loved, and then you get Moon Knight on top of it, and yeah, I mean, I just wasn't an outcome on this one that I was expecting.
No, I actually went to go get a glass of water when this hit. I was like, all right, this is going to go for 20. I'll be back. And I came back. I was like, it went for what? So,
I mean, Quesada Palmiotti had some high notes, and this is definitely a great example of what they could do artistically. Yeah. I mean, look at the shading on Daredevil. I mean, that's just not just mailing it in. That's going.
Look at how great the horns look. They're fantastic.
I thought that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this was definitely one of the better deals. So, congrats to the winner. I cried. So.
Yeah. So 7.
You cry every auction, Nikki.
Well, it's Daredevil. It's Quesada Daredevil.
So you should have been.
I thought it was going to go.
What?
That's
You know what
not
I
the
feel
right
like right
answer,
now?
Nick.
You know what I feel like? You guys ever see Something About Mary? Have you guys ever seen Something About Mary?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Where the insane guy's in the car with Ben Stiller saying, I'm going to do 7-minute abs, 7 minute. And Ben Stiller goes, well, that'll work until somebody comes out with 6-minute abs. What do you mean 6-minute abs? When I came back with my glass of water, I was like, what do you mean this went for 7,000?
Well,
I couldn't believe
don't get
it.
up for a glass of water next time.
Yeah, really.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I could not
that's a very
believe
good buy.
what this went for. It blew my mind. So congrats to the winner.
All right, so I picked this because I love Matt Wagner's Hero Discovered stuff, and I thought this was was it a little low? I don't know. I mean, I guess not, because it's it's not like a very standout page, but just because I've been looking for a page for a long time. So this one, I saw this one, but it just wasn't one that I wanted to go for. So I thought 2000 was a little light on it, just because having seen where that market is when there's a nice page out there, what they go for. I thought 2000 was more than fair on this one as well.
Do you bid, Bill?
I did not. No, I didn't bid on anything in the signature auction. But again, I look at this one and it's like, well, I wouldn't have minded getting this because I've never had an example from this book, from the series, and just getting an example at this point at $2,000 would have been I would have been happy to get it at that price.
No, it's a good page. The price is a good price, and you still get a major character there, and it's beautiful. Look, there's only 15 issues, 22 pages per issue. A few pages have come out recently, a few pages, but not that many. So I don't know how many more will be coming out, but it's still great.
Indeed. And just two more here for me, everybody. I picked this Mike Zeck, Bob McLeod, Craven's Last Hunt page. I know it's maybe not the most desirable page, but it went for just under $5.
I actually like this page. I went up to
I do too.
I went up to 3,600 on it. It's got a lot of character. You feel for him in this page. I thought the emotion that Zeck gave him was really well done. It's beautifully illustrated. I just didn't want to go too high on it because But at for me, the right price would have been 3,000 plus juice. And once it started going past that, but it is gorgeous. It's a good pick.
Yeah, no, I mean, even the good pages from this run don't come up often enough. But
but to bid for this one, you have to make it all the way to the end of the
right. That's
Sunday auction,
very true. And that's
a lot of
we've
bidders
been talking about that, really a lot for the last couple of years. We even mentioned it to Joe last week when we did the preview, where everybody's talking about Sunday just being too long. It just kind of
700 lots, I think, right? It was 700 lots, ridiculous.
Well, the platinum only had 20, and then the next day only had, I think, 650 or 60 or something like that. So everything else was on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this auction, what we have to keep in mind, we're mono-focused on the art, but this past auction, Heritage had a big push from the collection of the Finding Superman. I can't remember if that's what it's called, but they're doing a film on this. There was this one collector
who, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, his wife divorced him. He was estranged from his kids. And he had this huge collection, Superman 1 and Up, Mickey Mantle trade it, rookie cards.
It's been in the news a lot. Yeah.
Like the comics went.
Had no clue what he had until he died. And now they have like $20 or $30 million worth of collectibles. And, the platinum auction, I think they did just under $1 million in in art, but they did $6.5 million in comics. So this auction, I think one thing we need to keep in mind, even though the art was a little bit lower this auction, they still took in $17 million. They still took in about the same amount of money in the aggregate. In Detroit, the kids and wife. Yeah, it's like $20 or $30 million in collectibles. that the father collected. It got stuff CGC slab. The family had no idea. He had a safe in the house. It's just insane what he has. But anyway, so the one thing we do need to pay attention to a degree is that Heritage still took in $17 million.
Kudos to them.
That overall number that they hit the last few times, just I would say the last couple of years, I mean, outside of the Promise collection, they had the Amazing Fantasy 15 that took in 3.6 million, but the last couple of years, a lot of the dollars moved to the original art. This auction, the original art,
that's a good point. It's skewed the other way.
Yeah, you didn't have the home runs, you didn't have the $500,000 million plus pieces, but they still took in the same amount of money. So yeah, they had 20 pieces on Thursday for the platinum session, but that's because they had another 6.5 million in platinum on the comics. So they still spent the same amount of time auctioning on Thursday and Friday. We just didn't see it or feel it because for us it was quick.
Yeah.
Very true. One last piece here, and this is just for fun. Mike Mignola, Cosmic Odyssey 1 page.
The last.
I was the underbidder. I was the underbidder.
Were you really?
I toyed with it. I like the chair image, the full splash.
$2,400. That just shows you we're pricing those right on Dueling Dealers when we have.
I think so.
So, but yeah, no, I saw that and I
think I was the underbidder on both Cosmic Odysseys actually. I think I'm like, it's worth it up until this price. I'm not going to go above the Dueling Dealers price.
That's right.
But I don't know if I would have pushed it up any further, but I was the underbidder on both. I'm like, I can have the last two Cosmic Odyssey pages.
You could have, but you didn't. They'll come up again. They come around all the time.
Yes,
I'm sure some of Mike or Anthony must have one stashed away.
Actually, Bill, I will say one thing. Both those, I know the person who can sign those. Both those pages were from Dueling Dealers, and they went for just slightly under the Dueling Dealers price.
There you go.
Nothing
wrong. Yeah. Well, that is what it is. But I thought that I knew that this one was one of the ones that we had sold. I wasn't sure of the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, guys, what do you?
All right.
It was a good show. We got it done in an hour and 12 minutes with the recap. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now we have until June, I think, is the next one.
Yeah, June 30th.
Yeah, June 30th. And if we want to do a mini one with Comic Connect and Comic Link right after, because they've got the two auctions that end back to back. So if we want to do something quick there, we can.
Okay.
But yeah, outside of that, the end of June. So, wow, it actually feels like the end of June a long time this time.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We've had so many before. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you think about it, we had the one at the end of November, then they had the December one, then we went into January, and it just felt like it was never ending at that point. So now it's like, oh, we have a 2-month break.
The breather.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can save up their money. All right. Well, go Mets, right? Right, Albert?
Yep. The opening day was postponed till tomorrow, and it turned out it didn't even rain today.
I haven't gotten to see one game yet, but
are they playing the Phillies?
No, they're playing Marlins.
Oh, okay, because the Philly game got delayed today too because of the rain.
Well, we are in the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I get it. Listen, I don't follow sports. That's why I asked.
You follow the weather?
Yes, I follow the weather, not sports.
That's it.
That's why I knew that it was delayed because
I still give him some shit. See,
yep. I love Dino's shirt, of course. And hey, before you guys go, Antoine wanted to know what's the piece on Dino's back wall.
That's the Marvel Super Secret Wars poster art by Ron Wilson. Has the Beyonder and all the Marvel heroes flying towards them.
And it's very large, very
large. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we've got a few months off, but I'll check into the Comic Connect and Comic Link featured auction. Maybe we'll do something small for that one. Another 45 minutes or an hour when we get to do
And I'll
that.
still send paddles to everyone. And we'll just
Yes, and
Exactly.
we have to have a palette that says next as well.
next. Okay. This has been great. Thanks, Albert, for joining. I know you had to
Yes,
make things
thank
happen.
you,
to join us.
Albert,
Good
Dino,
stuff.
Nick, each one of you. That was a lot of fun. So we'll do it again soon.
Yep.
Have a
Take
good
care,
night.
guys.
Yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
great- Hey, everybody, hit
Night,
that
everyone.
thumbs up.
Take care. Have a good night,
Thumbs up.
everyone.
Later.
All right. See, that's fun. We got that done in relatively short order. I think that was not too bad. But yeah, it's good to have them all on there. I think who knows what happened to Mike? He, I guess he bought too much at that auction and didn't want to talk about it. Who knows? So I've got a lot more things to go over, but I can see that I've got my other guest in the green room right now. So I'll swing over to her and bring her in. We'll talk for a little bit. Let's see. Hey, Sharon. How's it going? Look at that. I can almost cut.
Who surprised me home from college?
Hello.
The Kubert School.
Would they get time off there?
It's spring break.
Yeah, special occasion.
That's true. It is that time of year, isn't it? See, I never pay attention to that. My kids are homeschooled. They're always around. I never know when they're not going to school or they're taking classes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm just so happy that you're here. He's been helping me immensely with my
With the thought process on those.
yes, exactly. So
Just a few pointers.
exactly. Thank you.
Well, I brought Sharon on tonight because she's been working on those sketch covers that we have for the Kickstarter. And
Yes.
I know that the books are off to the printer at last. So I think Nick said maybe it's a 2-3 week turnaround to get the books back. So we're trying to get the sketch covers done and the rest of the sketch cards done. So I know that we're getting there. We're getting there. But I figured this would be a nice opportunity to show off what Sharon's got done so far, just to give everybody a taste.
Let me just warn you, my favorite friend is this.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Or this is really helpful. The little mini eraser, that's really good too.
Now Sharon has to do 9 sketch covers, everybody, just so you know. It wasn't like she got just 1 or 2 orders. She got 9. I think Ken Hazer, he might have had about the same number. I forget now, but there was a lot more sketch covers than there were sketch cards being asked for this time around.
My favorite thing was to like sketch things out on like paper because I was terrified.
Well, that's what the eraser's for.
Like, yeah, but like it still kind of shows, and so like I hate that. Yeah, so I used like lots of paper trying to like figure things out. And
wait a minute, I know Anthony Snyder was one of the things that you had to draw.
That's one of them.
Wait a minute, that wasn't Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony is like a Superman. I made him a hair and a Superman curl.
I was gonna say the hair. I've never seen Anthony with hair.
I mean, it's comic books. You can do whatever you want. Superpowers. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's an interesting one, I'm sure.
Yeah. So like I use like a lot of paper, right, Jamie?
Paper's cheap. Paper. So what was the other one? I'm sorry, I was too transfixed with the Anthony Snyder sketch cover. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Scarlet Witch. I forgot about that. Wasn't that one of those ones where it was either Scarlet Witch or somebody else? They gave you your choice.
Yes, and then this I used as my my choice. Like I ended up doing that, but that's not the actual thing. I'm working on those still.
But she's got a cake. She's got a big cake there.
She does. Like I put cakes in everything. Sorry.
No, you should. That's exactly what everybody wants.
That's what I did. So my first one this is the last one that I'm starting with the least worked on piece.
Mm-hmm.
The Golden Age Hourman, because I'm learning about that character. Yeah. I think he's really interesting and I'm excited to learn more about him. But like this is like so far what I got going on. And he has an hourglass around his neck normally, but I'm gonna do a cupcake possibly, or a basket full of cupcakes. I'm not exactly sure, but and maybe a clock in the background. I'm not sure about that. So I'm working on that one. Should I take it out of the thing?
No, it's fine. I'd leave them in there
Okay.
for now. Brett Mixon wants to know, is that an Archie dress that you're wearing?
It is. Because I was working on Archie. I was working on Betty today. So having
Nice.
fun with Betty for one of the covers. Yes. And so here is the
You
Betty.
got a bear in the room too.
Yes. Where to go?
The bear is on your left. Isn't that what that is over there? What is that? No, it's a bunny. I'm sorry. It looks like a bear because I couldn't see the ears. Now I can see I can see one long ear. It looked like a toupee.
Oh,
It looked like Donald Trump's toupee on him for a second.
Oh.
Didn't
Did.
it? now it looks like a rabbit. I thought it was a bear. He's too pudgy to be a rabbit. Come on.
Like a
Rabbits.
exactly.
Oh man, and his head comes off too.
His head comes off. It's like an Easter basket.
You killed it.
No.
Very nice. So now you had. See, I don't have your list in front of me right now. What other ones did you have?
All right, so I have Betty.
Yeah.
From Archie. So I'm doing Betty with a cake, coming out of a cake, because I thought that was fun. So I'm doing that one. And I have to work on that a lot. And I don't know if I'm adding color to these or what I'm doing exactly. I'm just having fun right now. I know they need a lot of work, but I'm working on it.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And then here is, I had Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is.
Oh, and of course he's got a cupcake.
Of course. And a cupcake shield. Because cake defeats everything. Cake is strong.
Comic Art Boston. Yes,
Power of cake.
that would be. Let's see. Comic Art Boston said he asked for Anthony, and yes, that was yours. That was the layout for your sketch cover, Cab.
Yeah.
Or not the Captain America, the Anthony Snyder one. The Anthony.
Oh, it's coming up, right?
Well, you showed us the.
Oh,
the
yes.
sketch.
Yeah. But I haven't shown the actual thing.
Ah, that was just the prelim.
That was yeah. It's basically the same.
Okay.
Then I had two Vampirellas, and my Vampirellas need a lot. Well, this one needs to eat some cake. I need to add some calories on this girl. She's too skinny.
Yeah, a little.
But she's
Some
standing on them.
extra
She just
to her.
needs to eat them. So there she is. She's got a back cupcake.
Mm-hmm.
And then
You could have some blood dripping out of those cupcakes or something.
Good idea, right,
Yeah.
David? We gotta add
Yeah.
some blood dripping
Like
out
piercing
there.
a deli donut.
Red
I'll be
velvet.
your editor.
Yay! Thank you. I need all the pointers, please. Okay, and then here's my sexier version of Vampirella.
Very nice. And
Yeah.
and a
She's doing
cupcake as
good.
well.
I like her face. The other one looks like Barbie. I got the image from an actual action figure. So there you go. It wasn't drawn from life or anyway. Okay. Then Red Sonja I have to work on her chainmail and everything else. And she's also got a cupcake. And I have to work on her sword because it's kind of wackadoodle.
Oh, Mom, if you want to get reference for these comic book characters, you can look up cosplays of them.
Okay.
Sometimes professional cosplayers go crazy and do really accurate costumes.
Did you hear that?
I did. Yeah, just Google cosplay. You can see real character, real people
Positions, in power poses, and then you can draw them, and then it's not like a action figure.
There you go.
You gotta think of the background yourself, though, because they're usually a convention.
Yeah, you can. That okay.
You can see all the real curves.
You gotta add the background, and then as my choice, I did Scarlet Witch, making Cake her fabulous reality.
Mm-hmm.
So there she is.
Very nice.
And then Spider-Man was another request. And of course he's flipping for the best cake in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, of course.
that's the beginning of that one.
That's like one of those Hostess, cartoon strips in
Oh,
the comics. He's stealing the or he's protecting someone's Twinkies or something.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. And then my favorite, of course, is my husband. Someone asked for that, and this is Anthony with all of his comics and art. He's my Superman. And I gave him some tattoos and the Superman curl. He's got a cupcake tattoo and his logo tattoo, which is still in the works. And I gave him some extra muscle.
Yeah. Back when he was abtastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's those are great. Those are great. So I mean, obviously I didn't think you'd have that much done on them already, but that's good. I know
Oh my gosh, really? That makes me so happy because I was like, oh my God, I need to get everything done.
We figure you got a couple weeks to get
out.
them done and shipped over to Dynamite so that because they're actually putting it all together and shipping out all the packages. So like I said, I think Nick told me we've got a little less than 3 weeks probably before the books are in, and they still have to get them around us and get them signed and everything. So we're a little behind on the Kickstarter, but it's always a learning curve process for us.
Yeah.
So
like I said, like stacks and stacks of paper. I'm like, oh my God. And then I was terrified to actually draw on a book.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, it's a real book. I was blown away. I was like, no.
T. Gleason says Anthony has a sweet 1-pack now. Okay, that's not nice. And Sharon is not switching from baking to drawing, Stanley. Baking, I think, will always be your first love.
I love everything. Baking, dancing. I love drawing on cakes. Making art sculptures on cakes. That's good.
Now, is it true that Anthony is not going to draw the few sketch cards that you had, and you're going to have to do those too?
Probably.
He could help. He could help a little bit. You could tell him he's got.
I'll make him start it. I'll make him do a squiggle.
He's got to do. He has to do that one that we each had to draw one for. So he can't shirk his duties on that one.
Which one was character. That? Let me make note of that.
That was the Boris the Bear.
The Boris the Bear
as a superhero.
We all have to do one of those.
Yeah, the gentleman bought 4 sketch cards, and each of us have to draw one. So Anthony can not draw that one. He has to draw it.
He would.
Mike's drawing his.
Such a good artist.
What's that?
Anthony is such a good artist. Like, he's forgotten how amazing he is.
There you go. He's going to show us how amazing he is because we're going to.
He's got to do it. He just got to sit down and relax for a second. And
Isn't
do
he
it.
Relaxing in the other room? All right. Well, I mean, there's only so much we can do there. But Sharon, those are beautiful, and I look forward to seeing them done. And as you finish them, you can send me like a scan or something. I'll share them on the show. Is that cool?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Everybody loves your dress.
Yay! Thank you. Where am I pointing?
Right there, you are,
Betty.
Well, keep me updated, and I will.
Can we show a little bit of Jameson's latest?
Yeah, sure, if you want. Absolutely.
He has grown so much and improved, and he's so modest. Like he's incredible. This Jameson, show him your favorite stuff.
Okay.
Real quick.
I like how this one came out.
Show it, Sharon. Yeah, that's awesome. I love horror.
Great. Who is this character, Jameson?
That is Hunter from Owl House.
Hunter from Owl House.
The kid's Hunter. That's Bellows.
Oh.
That's his uncle.
That is so cool.
He does not have a stick.
Yeah, nice inking on that one.
Thank you.
Right? Great inking.
And I have actually working on some Red Sonja of my own.
Red Sonja of his own.
Some big...
She's beautiful, Jameson.
Goblin guy is harassing her.
Oh, no.
Ogre guy. I have the other page, but it's not inked. She
very nice.
Knows.
That's really awesome, honey.
Thanks.
What?
I don't remember what the script was called or what the issue was, but in school we just got a Red Sonja script from a comic they published a while ago.
Cool. And
Very nice.
you have to animate.
Any more?
Anime? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, show some more.
Okay. Here's the first page of that sequence.
Oh, okay.
I showed you the second page.
Oh.
If I can
We gotta
show
get
up on camera.
the light.
There's a
There we go.
strong light on that one. There, that's better. It's got the pencil rough there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the third page after the guy messed with Sonya.
I thought we were going to see him dead or beheaded or something after that.
Oh, no.
That's later in the book, actually.
Later in the book. Oh,
He comes
God.
back with bandits.
Did Anthony write that story?
I'm not sure.
He loves a good beheading. I know that.
Yes.
I do know that Tom did the original pages.
Ah,
He showed us in class. They were great.
He's wearing the tentacles for me because of.
No, I like them.
Okay.
I'm wearing these for me.
not for you, Sharon.
Not for me. I was like, hey, where's the tentacles? He's like, okay. Awesome.
No, that's cool. I'm actually doing a show with Adam Kubert in a couple of weeks. Well, not even a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Saturday after next. Yeah, he'll be sitting right here, right next to me, doing a show.
Yay!
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Give him a hug from me.
I,
If you can.
I'll ask Maureen to give him a hug. Here, yeah. Hey, Maureen, come over here and give Adam a hug. Karen wanted you to do that for him. Yeah, I just saw him this weekend too. It was fun. Over
That's
at Megacon.
awesome. Such
Yeah.
a talent. Just, yeah, mind blowing his work.
Very true. So, any more pieces from your work at Kubert School, or?
I did a double page spread.
Ooh.
This one's going to be a little hard to open.
Is that the right way to show it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Maybe I should show it.
It's gonna be a lot of work to ink that one.
Yeah.
He is so good at inking.
Oh, I like how these pencils are coming along. This is going to be a cover of a book I'm working on with my roommate, Tim.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to be called The Rangers of Red Grove.
Whoa, look at the movement in that. That's awesome.
Cool.
The what?
The Rangers of Red Grove.
Rangers of Red Grove. A new comic book.
Yeah. Right now we're just making it a light novel, which is when it's like written in prose with a bunch of illustrations in it.
Oh, nice.
Because we have a lot of deadlines in classes and it's a school project.
Okay. Understandable.
Mm-hmm. Got to focus on school first.
Yeah.
Personal project second.
Could totally be a webcomic though.
Nice.
Okay. This one, I think this one will be the last one I show off.
The last awesomeness.
Not bad. The
Oh.
dragon has been slain.
Yeah.
And another beheading. What's up with the Snyder? Everybody likes a good beheading over there, except for Sharon.
No. Oh no. Is this true, Mom?
I can learn to like it.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
No, I do. I love that. That is awesome, Jameson.
It is. It's very good.
Okay. Thank you for letting me show off my.
No, thank you for doing it.
You.
And
I'm so
Sharon,
happy
thank
you're
you for
home.
showing off your pieces too. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing
Yeah.
you finish and do whatever you want to finish them, whether you color them or you don't. It's whatever you want to do. Whatever the piece tells you to do, Sharon. Finish them in that way.
All right. So I'll get cracking on these.
And I did send you some more sketch cards in the mail, so hopefully
Thank
you'll have
you.
those
Thank
early
you
next week.
so much.
I also
Yeah, I
brought
know I have to do
mine
those
from
too.
school. I also brought mine from school.
Oh, thank you.
All righty. Well, I have more show to do, but I appreciate it, Sharon. We've seen a lot of each other this week, 3 times on the panel. That's
always good
great.
seeing you.
That is very true. Sharon always smiling, good karma, good luck, says B&G. All right. And thank you both. I will see you again soon.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye.
All right. See, that was fun. I knew I wanted to get Sharon on here to show off the work that she had already begun. And it's those things are a lot of work. I'm glad I don't have to draw a sketch cover. I can stick to the sketch cards because I don't have mine next to me. I'd show them off. But anyways, I've got a lot of work to do. I have 4 to do, and I've only laid out all of them. I haven't finished a single one yet, but maybe this weekend I'll have them all done. So what do we got for you? I got a few other things. I might as well just go over the schedule really quickly. Not a whole lot has changed on the schedule, but there are a few additions. And as you know, I've got Mike Oming on this Saturday at 2 o'clock. Then I've added Mark Nelson to the show next Tuesday. I had an opening, and Mark, he's been on he's been on one Comic Art Live panel that Mark Walters hosted for us, I think a year ago. And great artist, and he's always talking about story or about world building, and so he's doing a Kickstarter kind of around a concept he's had for a while, and I do believe there's some original art rewards with it as well. So I'll have him on. We'll kind of talk about the Kickstarter. We'll probably look at some of the art rewards and make an interview out of it as well. There won't be anything for sale, of course, but I believe the Kickstarter actually starts on the 11th too. So that'll be fun to have him on there for that. Then I've got Adam Kubert next Saturday for an art sale. Anthony's Make Offer website sale will be the Monday following that. I've got a Fat Jack's fundraiser on the 18th with Nick Barucci. That is on my birthday, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll hang out and have some fun with that. Joe Lindstner art sale on the 22nd, Saturday. Then I got a couple. I got Robbie and John from Next Comic Art the following Monday. I need a guest on the 25th. Anybody who wants to do an interview with me, collector or artist, feel free to email me. I have been so busy the last couple months that I really haven't reached out to anybody. And at the beginning of the year, I was really aggressive with getting new people to do that. That's why I had like 2.5 months all booked for so long. So I do need a guest on the 25th. If anybody wants to do it, save me the trouble and just email me and we'll work something out. Then I've got on the same day, I've got 2 art sale shows that Saturday on the 29th with Dennis Cowan and then Dexter Soy from Next Comic Art. One's at 2 o'clock and one's at 9 o'clock. Then the amazing Sideshow Bob will be with me on the 2nd of May. I'm looking forward to that interview. I've always admired Bob's collection, and having him on the show is going to be extra special. Then a Dexter Bynes art sale show. We now know the sketchbook show in May will be painted art. Got Alberto Gonzalez coming up. I've got Jane Frank coming up as well. Then Comic Art Live, May 20th and 21st. I'm getting asked a lot about that. I really need to put an ad on CAF just to let people know when that show is, because a lot of people are looking forward to it because they haven't gotten any emails yet. They're asking me a lot about it and when is it going to be. So you can't, as Marcus says, push up my other guests. I can't do that because then what would I do? I mean, nobody could change their schedules. Let's see. Murdoch says for the Anthony Macon offer sale, we send those to me directly, Bill. Yes, we'll be sending out an email very soon about that. But yes, the email offers go to me, and like before, the offers will get addressed in the order that I receive them. So it's best to get to start browsing Anthony's site properly and picking out your the things you want to make an offer on. And we'll give you information on how to send your emails into me to get in that list. So, all right. And what else I got here? Kevin Nolan is probably going to be on the 3rd, maybe the 10th, but I think it's going to be the 3rd. That's an art sale show we're actually talking about. He's going to be doing pin-up commissioning style pieces. So I think everybody's going to be excited about that. I haven't seen any yet, but in the emails we've had, it'll probably be a lot of the characters you'd like to see, Doctor Strange, Batman, and so on. I'll have Alex Winter from Hakes on as a collector interview on the 13th of June, and then we'll be at Heroes. And I wrote the 15th through the 16th. Isn't that like the 15th through the 18th? I'm probably butchering the dates on there. But for those of you going to Heroes, and it is the 18th. So the 15th through the 18th, I'll be at Heroes Con with so many of you. Then Simone Bianchi on the 4th of June, and then Howard Chaykin will be back in July. And I also have gotten, Jay, I have a list somewhere. I have another 4 artists that I'm going to be doing art sale shows with that weren't on the schedule yet, that are all new, that I won't name them yet because they're not on the schedule yet. But James McLaughlin, who from Hero, who I work with on these artist sale shows, he's usually talking with the artists and getting everything lined up schedule wise with me. He emailed me about 4 different artists that have approached him. So, and I've been approached by 2 artists too. So we're going to have a lot of art sale shows going on, I think, for the remainder of the year on Saturdays. But they're fun, right? And with regards to Mike Oming, I know I showed off a lot of his stuff. I think we're going to have about 25 pieces in total for the show on Saturday. Half are new pieces and half are pieces that didn't sell on the first couple shows, and the pieces will be fairly reduced in price. So there's a lot of good stuff in here. I won't show it all off, but I do have a nice stack of art here. I like this one, and it's just a pinup. And I have to go back and check, but I think he priced it too low. But at any rate, it'll be out there. Hellboy and Ape Sapien, and some other published pages from Powers, and I know a couple covers from Powers as well. And this is a Red Sonja that was done just for fun. Actually, I was thinking that maybe he got hired by Nick, but no, it's not a published cover. It is just a Red Sonja, giant skull in the background, rat in the foreground. Very nice image, but not published. I talked to Mike earlier this week, so I got the skinny on all of that stuff. But yeah, good stuff there. So one thing, I got an email from Mr. Easy Go Lucky today. He was one of the buyers from the Brereton show, and he let me see that my packaging saved a piece of art. And I shouldn't even say my packaging. I mean, Emma wrapped this one up, but here's a photo. So I put everything in Masonite, and look at that. The whole corner got practically chewed off of it. So it's a good thing that, I mean, most of Dan's stuff was 11 by 14, and I think in most cases those pieces got put into 14 by 18 Masonite. So there was a couple inches of buffer, I think, on those. So even a ding like that, while frightening to look at, didn't damage the art, thankfully. But yeah, just shows you that even with the strongest materials out there, that you can ship stuff and you can still come up with some serious damage like that. So I was happy that the art was fine at the end of the day. And I've gotten a whole bunch. I got 2 emails today from people in Europe that got their art a little faster than I was expecting. So and everybody's happy. Everybody likes the packaging. Where does Easy live? Ukraine? No, he lives in California. He lives in California. So it didn't have to go really well, Florida to California. I guess I couldn't have gone any further than that here in the States. But still, I mean, that's a kind of an odd, because that's like a snapped corner. I mean, how the heck do they do that? I can't even. It must have got caught in something. But again, yes, packaging that saved the day. But yeah, it was, other than that, everybody else has said that everything's arrived perfectly. So I can be very happy for that. Now, I kept the packet. Yeah, Murdoch got the polychrome, and it's worth keeping. Yeah, exactly. I mean, anytime I get stuff shipped in Masonite, I always save it. Bill, can we pick up art from you at Heroes? Absolutely. I don't mind doing that at all. I mean, obviously, we've got a fair number of sales shows in between, now and Heroes. So yeah, I don't mind doing that. And obviously, a lot of you out there will be at Heroes, so I do not mind doing that. Anthony says Masonite is so old school. I don't know about that. I think shipping in USPS, priority boxes is what's old school, but that's okay. It still works, and they're free from the post office, so you don't have to cut them like Masonite. But anyways, hey, talking about cons, we just mentioned Heroes there. Well, 2 major cons happened this weekend, of course. It was C2E2 and Megacon. I did go to Megacon. I was there on Friday and Sunday, and many collectors were there for that, and that was pretty cool. I got to meet a lot of local collectors that I didn't even know were in Florida that I ran into while I was there. And of course, a lot of people I know went to C2E2. So I got video clips for both of those shows. But the one thing, everybody said they didn't notice it, but I got on some medication, which everybody last week should have noted. Remember when I got real giddy last week when I was on the camera with Chris? I didn't, I really felt like somebody had slipped me a Mickey or something, right? And as it turns out, I didn't do my dosage right on the medication. The doctor was like, you take 6 this day, 5 next day, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. And I thought that meant you took them all at once, like that you take 6. So I took 6 on Thursday and I took 5 on Friday before I went to Megacon. And and then by Saturday, I finally read the packaging, and the packaging said, take 1 after breakfast, take 1 before lunch, take 1 after lunch. And on that Thursday, I popped 6 at one time. So I think that, I had I roofied myself basically. And then I did the same thing to myself on Friday. And then right before I drove into Megacon. So the whole day I thought I was going to fall asleep. I didn't know what was wrong with me. And that's that is a word of caution to everybody. Read your medication package before taking. I just heard what the woman said: take 6 day 1, 5 day 2. I thought you did it all at one time, but it was not the right thing to do. At any rate, I'll go ahead and show the C2E2 piece first. Now, the C2E2 video, by and large, was put together by Tom McDonald. I think I saw Tom in the chat earlier. I didn't have to do any editing. Tom put this whole thing together, and it's amazing. I did tag in a few pictures that I got from Josh Flanders and from Anthony Snyder at the end of it. But Tom, man, he's like, not only did he do a great job videotaping, far better than what I did at Megacon and you'll see this, he did a fantastic job editing his clip as well. I did wash him down with a Coke Kelly Goon. They tasted terrible. I got some of your stuff, Anthony. I put a few of them together. Hey, Tom. All right, well, Tom's in the chat right now, so it's a good time to show the video. So this is from C2E2. I forget how long this is. I think it's probably just a little under 5 minutes, but it's under 4 minutes. So just a really well done job. I should take some pointers from Tom on how well he put this thing together. So here we go.
Hi everybody, I'm Comic Art Fans.
No, he doesn't get back until
There you go. Some some people in the chat there, as we just saw. I saw Kelly Goon. Now I know what Kelly looks like. Yeah, that was awesome. So C2E2 looked like a lot of fun, and I heard many good things about it. Obviously, the Essential Sequential crew was there, and because they were not at Megacon by and large, although Adam and Andy were at Megacon. So we can talk about Megacon next. And as everybody recalls, last week I did mention that we had talked about originally having my art show in Orlando the first week in February. And as I mentioned to everybody last week, the hotel where we're going to be staying, or where the venue is, had contacted me last Thursday. They said they wanted me to move it to the week before that, which is the last weekend in January. So I wasn't very happy about that, but I called them on Friday morning and confirmed that I had to move it to the first weekend in February. It's like Bayer Pharmaceutical wanted the space for an entire week, and they weren't even going to use it on my weekend, but they needed to set up that weekend because they needed it on Monday. So I got screwed. So I went to Megacon, and the first person I talked to was Wayne, and Wayne told me, "Did you know they're moving Megacon to the first weekend in February?" And I'm like, woo, I guess I just dodged a bullet. I'm glad I didn't sign that contract with the venue to find out that Megacon was moving to the same weekend for the same reason that I had picked that weekend, which was because they want to encourage people to vacation in Orlando. So rather than stop and talk to any artists, I actually went straight to my source at Megacon. And did they cut me a deal? Not really. So I hadn't signed yet. Had I signed, they would have cut me a deal. I already have a good deal with them. But the thing was that initially I was a little freaked out about that, thinking that, all right, Megacon the weekend after our show, was a bad thing. And then the more I thought about it, it's actually not a bad thing. It's going to work out really well for us because, we're going to be able to coordinate some things, I think, with the show in order to get guests that we wouldn't have been able to get, because people who would come out, they'll be able to do our show for 2 days, get 3 days in Orlando, whether they go to the coasts or they go to a park, and then they can do the 4-day Megacon shows. Because I can tell you, Megacon was very similar in feel to New York Comic Con and the San Diego Comic Con. It was incredibly busy. I mean, I didn't even go on Saturday. I didn't want to go. It would have been ugly, but I think it was fate working on my behalf to get us to move to the week before. But it really does make a lot of sense. And I've talked with a few art dealers as well, and just the thought being that they might have been on the fence to go to my show, or they might have been on the fence to even go to Megacon. But if you're going to make the trip and bring your art, and you're going to do my show, you're going to stay and do Megacon. So it's actually a win for Megacon and a win for me, because now we've got we've got 2 shows that are going to be do well for the art community back to back. Ours will of course be all original art focused, but you go over to Megacon the following weekend, and if you're going to do a lot of signings and prints, and you're still going to sell art there too. Wayne says Megacon was insane, and it really was. So I will be signing the agreement tomorrow. Actually, we had one final thing to iron out with the venue. So, definitely be full steam ahead. And next week, I actually have at least one guest, if not 2, where we'll be making some special announcements about my show and what they're going to be doing for the show, and pretty much announcing their opportunities right then and there, because they're pretty huge opportunities and there's time that needs to be able to do them. And I can't wait to tell you all about it. I'm not going to tell any. I can't. I'm not going to say anything, Marcus. Not yet. But suffice to say that the few people I've asked all really want to do it. Everybody wants to have a show like this. In the States. We've we've got Heroes. It's a great show for artists, and it's been out there for a very long time. But this will be very much focused on artists and collectors first, and dealers as well. But that's going to be it. Sketch ops. Yes, there will be sketch ops, Carlos. That's really, yeah, you got it. Well, of course, they're going to be sketch ops, and they're big sketch ops. That's why we need 8 to 10 months to kind of get them, to get the artists the time to do the work that's going to be announced. One will be next week for sure. Hopefully 2. I won't say who. They'll just be special guests on the show next week. So anybody who's interested, you're going to want to watch the show, because essentially we're going to be announcing those opportunities right live, and they're not for everybody. They're not, they're going to be a little expensive, but they're rare, kind of not too often opportunities that are going to happen. And I hope that they certainly won't be the only ones we offer. It's just that's going to be our way of kind of kicking things off and talking about the show. So yeah, is there only 92 of us? Only 92 watching. Well, there you go. If there's only 92 watching, then it's a good chance you might get it if you're able to swing it. But yeah, so there you go. Anybody with this, we get like 1,000 people watching the show over the course of the first week it's posted. So you should definitely, if you're watching on the rewind, try to watch it live. It's and I can tell you that what we'll probably be doing is making it open here first, but within minutes it will be opened up to various lists that are out there. It's gonna be announced here first with how to score it, but then it'll end up going out to like their email list and the CAF email list too. So people watching live will have the first dibs on it. And that was really kind of the part of the concept behind doing the show. I wanted to do the show all along, but I wanted to take what we've been doing on Comic Art Live as a channel with the art opportunities that we've done, and really kind of extend that into the show, the live show, and the in-person show itself, just because a lot of venues are more they're more concerned with getting people behind the table and people through the door, and then that's kind of it. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to be very involved with the art opportunities that the show has, and and really even take suggestions from everybody in the audience too. Which artists would you like to see? What kind of opportunities would you like to see us try to help facilitate? Because that's really what makes a successful show. So I knew some of the ones that I wanted to pursue first, and so far all of the people that I've talked to have been very open to doing it. So yep, a 10-minute head start, Marek, is about what you'll have. But again, it's just tune in next week and you'll see. So Megacon, moving to the first weekend in February is just definitely an interesting move. But they said the same thing that I had said all along, was I wanted people to think about spending an extra few days in Orlando. Bring your family, that sort of thing. Make a vacation out of it. And the word from Megacon was that they've always wanted to move to February, and they wanted people to consider doing a vacation because they felt that would be good for bringing more guests to the show, more attendees when they start thinking of making a vacation out of it. I mean, Heroes, I think, got big because it was a Father's Day weekend and it worked for them. And so that's, in a weird way, that's what Megacon's looking at here. So, Wayne, we'll talk more about that next week, but yeah, there will be a VIP. We're definitely doing a something special on Friday night. That'll be, that's going to be sort of CAF's birthday celebration, the kickoff for the show. All the exhibitors will be invited to it, and we've got something that we've got planned for that, and we've even got a pizza party planned. To a certain extent, there will be an art auction and all that, but hey, we don't need to talk about that. Let's at least go ahead and look at the Megacon video. In the Megacon video, I shot some video, not as good as Tom, but I shot some. I got some photographs from Alberto Gonzalez. I got some photos from Matt Tutulio, who reps Simone for his U.S. sales. Simone did some really fun stuff while he was at Megacon. He had sold a meet and greet opportunity with him where you got pre-done, or he was able to do commissions in advance of the show, a lot like what we're talking about doing here with mine. But he did like a standard size one, and he did a breakfast with that, and then he did a dinner where it was more I think the standard size one was maybe a 9x12s, but then he did 11x17s that were more finished paintings. And I think there were only 3 that he did, and you'll see the photograph of the pieces when you see the presentation here. I think they're towards the end. But Simone did an amazing job on those, and and that's like, again, a similar kind of thought process going into our show. I think the idea that if an artist knows that they've made a certain amount of sales, it's easier to go to a show, right? If you already have things lined up, and you already know what you're going to make going in the door, not counting any sales that you make when you're there. And I think that clearly, I think we can deliver that, and the better we do with those sorts of things as a community, the better the show's going to end up being. And so, anyways, here's the video from Megacon. I hope you enjoy it, and just don't critique my filming ability. It is not on par with Tom's. There you go. So yeah, next week we'll talk about some guests, but you can imagine it's going to be fun and very interesting. But I had a good time. I probably had a very good time thanks to the drugs I was on that Friday. But on Friday evening, or maybe on my way home from the show, Adam Kubert said he wanted me to help him with a panel he was on Sunday. So I came back in for that. And it was fun. It was definitely a good time to go back on Sunday. I heard that Saturday was absolutely ridiculous. All those images. I mean, it really was that packed. And they actually, I think, rent the entire Orange County Convention Center now. So it's a very, very, very large show. I didn't hear what the attendance was on that, though. Yeah, even being all hopped up. I don't endorse. I usually don't take anything at all. So if I didn't I had a little issue, then I need to take some medications. Anyway, so let's keep this thing rolling. We're already 2 hours into this. Let me go ahead and jump into the heritage picks of the week, and I'll go through these rather quickly. Let's see here. Where were they? Here. Oh, too small, aren't they? Let's see. Oh, that's better. All right. So my picks for the week. That's the last one I wanted to show. Here we go. What do we got first? A Liam Sharp, and this is a Punisher cover, and I love Liam's work, and Punisher, pretty cool. He's kind of veiny. I'm sure Marcus I beat him to it, right? I think I beat him to it. Yeah, I did. Anyway, a rough and tumble Punisher image if there ever was one. Lots of pouches, so it's from the 90s. It's 94. And it's Mark Farmer inks on it too, so that's a good combo right there. Early Liam Sharp with Mark Farmer inks, and that's a cover to Punisher 88. Then let's see. Oh, I picked this one. Everybody always wants to see some Legion art, so I decided, hey, there's actually a Mike Grell Superboy and Legion of Superheroes page in there, and I figured I'd feature it, even though I don't know anything about the characters or the title. The artwork's okay, but it's Legion. Everybody wants Legion. So there you have one. I mean, right? Gabe Carino says the attendance was 160,000. Is that right, Gabe? I mean, seriously, I had no idea. That's a whole lot. Yeah, where is Margaret when we need her? But I thought it was good. But 160,000, that's insane. It felt like that. I mean, it felt like they could hit it. The show is monstrous. So and the thing is, with our show being in front of it, there's actually precedence for that, right? Torpedo does their show the weekend before San Diego. You're kind of capitalizing on people coming in early, that sort of thing. But this makes a whole lot of sense. The thing is, it wouldn't make any sense for me to put our show, say, in March, right, to be 2 months after it, because people have already gone to Megacon. They're not going to want to go back to Orlando 2 months later. It just won't work. So I've kind of got to roll with what Megacon throws me, and complement it as best I can. So then next up, what do we got here? Steve Ditko, John Byrne, and I mean, what an odd combo, right? But I'm sure John was up for the task. Although, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how a guy like John would approach inking Ditko. But this is on an Avengers annual, so I picked it more because, I mean, it's that's something that's pretty rare, right? Like Wrightson on Grell, seeing Byrne on Ditko, not gonna happen. This probably was like the only time that happened, I bet. I mean, Nick Barucci would know for sure. He's oh wow, so 160,000. Well, then there you go, everybody. Megacon is a huge show now. Then this is a Bill Ward page. I mean, there's lots of Bill Ward art out there, but I mean, how often do you get a page of this quality from this era? I mean, it's awesome. I think this is going to go. I mean, I didn't even read the joke on it. I just looked at the imagery. Sorry. But, I mean, again, it's Bill Ward, prime Bill Ward. I mean, dang, these are freaking unbelievable panels. I love it. And Bill Ward's, his character work is always kind of, I'm not even going to use that word. At any rate, I think this is a great page. I hope it hits $5,000 or $6,000, and it should. I bet you it does better than that. We'll see. Mark my words, it's going to do really well, and it should, because Bill Ward's stuff a lot of times, it's especially the pinup, the later pinups are always scribbly, sketchy, but it's nice, soft work like this stuff always does well. So I should just add this to my like track it, right? Where the heck do you track stuff on here? Oh, there's track item. I get to log in again. Daggone it. I'm always logged out of this site. All right, so now I'm tracking it. So I'll be able to see where that one ends. Next up. This one's something from Rian Gonzalez from Next Comic Art. I like her work a lot. This is a Tarna piece, and you can't go wrong with a heavy metal illustration, but it's got Rian's cute vibe to it, and it's gorgeous. So I thought I'd feature this one. And I heard that Rian is going to be participating in the mystery sketch ops for the May Comic Art Live. That'll be nice. I'm looking forward to that. I think he said, Jiggy said she was going to do 2. So, 2 is better than none, which is what we've gotten the first couple times. Then Alex Maleev Hellboy piece. I mean, obviously we all love when Mignola does Hellboy, but Maleev does a very damn nice Hellboy on his own here too. And it's in color, as you'd want out of a Maleev, but this thing is really nice, and I think will do rather well for the consigner, and the buyer is going to be really happy too, because that's a sweet piece. I mean, takes the classic Mignola character on a rock or a serpent or whatever, and so he's not doing anything innovative with the pose, but I mean, you don't want that. I wanted to see something like this, and it's great. Then you don't see a whole lot of Jusko artwork out there. This is Jusko and Vince Evans on Black Panther 8. So I picked it really just for that. I remember when Joe did his work on here, and I don't know, he just doesn't do a lot of interior work, right? I mean, cover work, yeah, lots of stuff for published books and those sorts of things, but you don't see too much of Joe's work in interior stuff. So I highlighted this one just because of the scarcity of it. What is that? Number one Marvel fan says 80% that go to Megacon are muggles. Yeah, that's why. I mean, but the amazing thing was I talked to all the artists that were there, and the few reps that were there. Everybody did incredible on Thursday evening and Friday, and not much sales on Saturday when the big crowds were there, and then they did pretty well on Sunday too. So by and large, Megacon did a really decent job for the artists that went. So and yeah, if you didn't notice it, I was one of those photos from my the video was Miko Swan. I finally ran into him, so I was happy to do that. Another Next Comic Art guy. So he told me he'll never bring Aquaman art to a sale show on our channel again. And I told him promises. But here you got a Mitchell Breitweiser Young Avengers piece. Mitchell, of course, I think is all digital these days, and I've always really liked his work a lot. I've never gotten a published piece that Mitchell did, but I've gotten several convention sketches by him, or paintings really, because he always kind of did pieces like this at cons. So yeah, just love his stuff, and it's unfortunate that he's all digital these days, but as his style goes, I mean, I always just really appreciated it. It's very, very nice. So again, and there's actually a couple pages by Mitchell in this auction. 2 more here. A John Byrne commission, Batman. I mean, kind of a freaky cool pose there with the cape. I like it a lot. And as anybody who's seen a lot of these John Byrne commissions, I mean, they're always pretty slick, right? And I imagine this is on 11x17. They're almost always on that. Sometimes a little bit bigger, 12x18. But great image of Batman done by John Byrne. What's not to love in this thing, right? It's almost like, is this cape trying to say something to me? I feel like there's something written in cursive in it. I'll keep moving on here. Last piece, Terry Schumacher and a Al Milgram inks. This was on an annual for X Factor, and obviously just this last panel is freaking amazing. And just for that alone, I picked the piece. Schumacher is okay, but I always loved Milgram's inks. I always felt that he did a very decent job with anybody that he worked with, and this is pretty nice. Is that like Starfire there in the middle? There, I mean, that's a popular character. What, you got Nova, you got Cable, you got everybody in here. Great piece. So there you go. That is my 12 heritage picks for the week. Not too bad, right? Aquarium. She wants Marcus. I'll buy an aquarium for Sharon. Okay. Anthony says. So I picked the pieces from all three Cuberts at the show, Wayne says. That's right. You did tell me that, right? I think you had picked them up probably on Thursday. Firestar. Thank you, Firestar. I get those. All right. It's been a long night. I haven't had my meds today. This is my first day off of the meds. So I'm probably coming down from that. All right. Now, next up, before we get to the CAF update, it is running late tonight. I apologize to Chris Norick when he gets in here, but I've got the EXP preview for you for Nick Barucci for tomorrow night. And of course, Nick's show is at 7 p.m. over on the EXP channel. And I've got the preview of the artworks that he's got for sale tomorrow. So please give it a look. And if you're free tomorrow night at 7, do tune in to his show.
All right, everybody. This Friday, April 7th, I'm supposed to have Amazing Spider-Man 11 complete issue on the air, but it hasn't showed up yet. So I don't know if I'm going to have it in time. It's a complete issue. John Romita Jr., Scott Hanna, this Friday, April 7th, 7 p.m. Eastern, double lucky 7. Maybe that means it'll show up. And it is issue 11, so that's another lucky number. Anyway, since we may not have the complete issue with the cover, we have other art we're going to show. So, we have a beautiful Brett Booth Gunslinger Spawn page. We have 2 Captain America pages by John Romita Jr. and Scott Hanna. We have a Joe Staton Green Lantern page. That's something I don't think we've had in the past. We also have an Action Comics annual with Bizarro. This is an awesome double-page spread by Kieran Dwyer. We also have this X-Men Legends by Brett Booth, which is gorgeous double-page spread. We also have Spectacular Spider-Man Super Special number 4, page 3. This is by Claude St. Aubin and Ralph Cabrera, if I'm remembering correctly. And we will have commission cover art with Captain America fighting the Captain America. Captain America getting knocked out by Captain America. We'll also have Doctor Strange and Clea. We'll also have a futuristic Doctor Doom for $20.99. So, this Friday, April 7th, 7 p.m., only on the Original Art Experience. And hit that thumbs up and share. Sharing is caring. Thank you, everybody. See you Friday at 7.
There you go, Friday at 7. And I should also mention, those of you in the Boston area, that the Wicked Comic Con is, just 2 weekends away from now. They're the weekend of April 22nd and 23rd. My friend Colin, editor on Comic Art Fans, is doing the media work like a champ the last 6 months promoting that show. And it's a really great show. It's got a lot of artists, got a lot of dealers at it. It's the Heinz Convention Center, so if you're in that area 2 weeks from now, it's definitely a show that I would encourage you to go to as well. All right, now we can get on to the CAF update and try to get myself. I am going through withdrawals, everybody. That must be what's going on. I don't know, but all right, here. So CAF update. This covers the period of the 27th of March until, check the date, April 2nd. So, the last half of the month. And it was actually, I would imagine, probably because of the shows, a very down week in general for the art dealers. And it was, they only sold $155,000 in registered sales, and that was down from $281,000 the period before. So, I'm sure Anthony did some business, but maybe those sales didn't get registered until Monday. And if there were any other dealers and reps that were out and about, they probably didn't record their sales either. So it was a low week. But Albert did have top sales recorded, 8 sales, $63,000. Anthony had 40 sales, which is not normal for him, at $23,000 in sales. Panel Page, 9 sales, $17,000. And Berkey had 4 sales, $16,000. So a down week all around for everybody. So maybe we'll see a rebound on that next week. Now, the top 6 sales from dealers, let's see here. And like I mentioned, total in sales, $155,000. The top sale of the week was this Jim Lee Scott Williams cover, which I guess we have more on the way, $35,000 for this one, sold by Albert Moy, as if you didn't know. Then next number 2 sale for the week was also by Albert Moy. This was a Frank Frazetta Tarzan piece, and I don't know if it was published or not. It kind of looks like it was finished enough that it could have appeared in something, but very, very nice there. So again, $17,500 for that. Ramita Man had this Kid Colt Outlaw 138 cover from 1967 by Trimpe and Roth, sell for $12,500. We've got this Captain America 417 cover that Anthony had. This one sold for the asking price of $8,000. Rick Levins on that one with Danny. And then we've got a Liam Sharp. This is a Brave and the Bold cover to issue 6, sold by Albert Moy, asking price $6,000. Absolutely beautiful. And we have one more here. This is by Chris Stevens, rep by Felix, sold by Tatiana in this case, sold for the asking price $5,000. Dr. Droom. Yeah, I have withdrawals. Dr. Doom, an 18 by 24 inch poster size poster art piece of art. So yeah, that's man, I need another Coke or something, I think. But moving right along, auction results for last week. This was rather average. Now I have to tell you, Heritage is having some problems with their basically they give me a file whenever an auction opens and when an auction closes. And the signature auction, I don't have the auction close data yet, so I didn't include it in here. But obviously we know it was around just under $6 million. But the downside to that is I don't have their weekly auction import files either because their whole export system is down. So it's kind of making a mess for me being able to update things over on CAF, but nothing I can do about it. So we have for this period $313,000 that recorded in auction sales, and that was down from 476 the week before. 100 or so of last week's were from some specialty auction as well. So 313 is a little bit below average. eBay made up 137 of that, and Heritage made up 175 of that. I can tell you that week over, after week, I can definitely see that eBay is slowly, eroding sales wise, and that either the pieces just aren't getting shown there, of higher quality. Not that they ever really did, but the volume is a bit down on them as well. Usually they've always been around 900 sales a week, and now this past week they're at 755. So that's about an 8 to 12% drop in just the number of sold lots. So that's substantial. We'll see how that maintains itself or doesn't. But let's go ahead and show the top 3 eBay and top 3 Heritage Weekly from last week. First up, this Ariel Cologne Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths variant cover to issue 5. This one sold for $5,000. I believe that was on a buy it now. Then the next piece, a very nice George Perez JLA Avengers number 4 page, page 36 to that one. It's got Aquaman on it, everybody. This one sold for $3,550. It's got Submariner too. Man, it's a great page. And last but not least from eBay, asking price on this Jim Starlin Infinity Quest page was $2,500. It did sell for $1,400 with a make offer. And we know that seller with his blue background, don't we? Now, 3 Heritage picks here for you that were the top sellers. First up, John Byrne, Alpha Flight 12. This one sold for $10,800. And who isn't an Alpha Flight fan? I mean, everybody should be. Then we've got this Stephen Platt Moon Knight page that went for $7,500. And we featured that last week. I knew it was going to do well, and it certainly did. Worth every penny. And we got this one was a surprise, right? A Rube Goldberg strip. I don't even know what year it was from, but this one sold for $7,200. I didn't even notice it when I was doing my picks last week. So I guess that shows me where I should be putting my attention. But Rube Goldberg, is that a name that I've mentioned once in the 3 years that I've been doing this show? I don't think so. So, and there were a few steals in there, definitely. Is it from the 50s, Marcus? I'm not familiar with Rube Goldberg's work at all. News for his latest invention. Yeah. But I should look into it. So, you know what time it is. It's the man of the hour. And I promised him last week that I was going to have an intro song for him. So, wait a minute. What is that? Huh? Man, this is like a wrestler's introduction, right? There he is. Look at that.
How red am I?
Yeah, right. Oh, that was great, man. We need like somehow a strip of lights need to start like spelling out your name or
I'll
something.
get some pyro.
That's right. We need
I'll
to
blow
have
up some pyro in
fireworks.
the basement.
Man,
Oh,
I'm
my
happy
Lord.
again. Chris, I don't know. You know, maybe I don't know, maybe it isn't the meds. I have no idea. But I can tell you, I'm actually going to something called Brews at the Zoo on Saturday.
Ooh.
So I am going to use my Untapped app for the first
There you
time
go.
on Saturday because 30 different beers I get to sample while I'm there in a
That's
4-hour
an
period.
impressive start.
Maureen is the designated driver for that one. So, but yeah, and it turns out the only reason we found out about it, Gwen is part of going to Full Sail. They want her to volunteer at certain events around town, and this was an event that they kind of assigned her to. So Maureen found out about it, and she was like, "Let's go. This sounds like a fun thing to do."
Very cool.
Yeah.
Brews at
How
the
you
Zoo.
been?
I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm good. It's near the witching hour though, so we got to rip through these picks.
Yes, we do, and I am sorry that was a long Heritage recap, but it was worth
Good
it.
show.
Yeah. But yeah, we can get through these rather quickly. I mean, there's a lot of good artwork to look at. I had a difficult time setting my sights on 10 pieces this week because there was a lot of pieces I thought were really good, and I overlooked a number that could have easily been added to my picks for this week. So let's see. Let me get a like on that one. So we have a Peach Momoko piece in Andrew Hanna's calf gallery here.
Yeah, I love the Peach. I think is obviously this is right in the wheelhouse for Peach Momoko, like technique wise for sure. But I think the thing I liked about this is how ethereal it is, but then at the same time, there's elements on it that are very sharp. So like there's the outline work that's on the city, like even some of especially some of the elements on the Blade Runner, but even some of the elements on the face for the character in the middle there are very like I said, tight. Whereas everything else is kind of like drifty, dreamy. So nice contrast.
Yeah, no, it is very nice. And when I think of Peach's work, I tend to feel like it's a little bit more looser, not so crisp. I really feel like this piece is very sharp, and I like it. I really, I like the color choices on this piece, and yeah, this is really, really nice.
I'm a Blade Runner mark too, so that didn't hurt.
Yeah. But no, good pick here. And I think Peach is going to Lake Como, so anybody who's going to Lake Como gets a treat there. I don't think she's going to have any problems with her lines at Como, so that's a good thing. But yeah, nice pickup there for Andrew. Now this one was a kind of what you could say it's like a no-brainer kind of pick, I guess. But
yeah. we don't have quote unquote rules, I guess, between the two of us, but I do have guidelines, and I broke one of them this week. So the guideline that I broke is I try never to pick two pieces from the same person's gallery. But Michael Clow did what Michael Clow does and dropped about 30. I could have picked all 10 from his gallery easily this week. So what do you say about this? It's like it's Bruce Timm, and then it's painted by Alex Ross. It's right. Two gods of the hobby, of the industry. I do have kind of a funny story related though. So when I worked at the comic store, Alex Ross and Mark Waid came through to do when they were touring for Kingdom Come, which was about the same time that the first season of Justice League was airing on Cartoon Network. And Alex Ross was telling a story about how he was talking with Bruce Timm, and he told him how disappointed he was in the first season of the Justice League cartoon. And Bruce Timm was like taken aback. He was like, "What are you talking about?" And Alex Ross said, "Well, in my opinion, you have the chance to make the greatest superhero cartoon show of all time, and you're not doing it right now."
Oh, wow.
I was like, whoa. And then Bruce Timm, I think, really took that to heart, because that show, like after the first season, was like hockey stick and got better and better and better. So anyway.
Wow. That's that's two impressively credentialed creators being honest with one another, right?
Yeah.
So,
and here they are collaborating on this awesome piece.
Yeah. No, well, this is an amazing image. I saw this one too, and if you wouldn't have picked this one, I would have picked this one. So And you'll see. I break a rule in mine where I actually pick the same artist twice.
Oh,
so yeah, we both broke the rules this week.
Flaunting.
Yes. All right. I did get my like on this one. So next up, we've got another. This is the other piece, and a deserving piece. It is a Punisher Armory cover by Jim Lee.
Yeah. Well, this goes, for me, this is a nostalgia pick for sure, because this is where I definitely discovered Jim Lee. I was in 6th grade when this came out. And this was when the Punisher was really at his peak, I think, popularity wise. I think the thing I like the most about this is actually the technical drawing. So, the Punisher Armory, if people don't remember, was actually about, like, oddly enough, was about like weapons, and they like added little stories like the kind of tied to the weapon, and it was like the Punisher was kind of like narrating the book. And so for me, it was really cool that the artists had to go like all out and really, like, from a technical standpoint, like nail the hardware, so to speak, and really get it dialed in, because that's kind of what the book was about.
This is such a great image too. I wasn't buying Punisher. I was never a big Punisher fan back then. But the covers were always amazing, and this is just a fantastic image, and I can see how you couldn't pass it up, right? And I agree with you that Michael did make several amazing posts this week, and this is just what a great collection. So for you, those of you who haven't been in Michael's calf gallery in a while, you definitely need to hang out, leave a few comments, because there's a lot of deserving pieces in there.
Yeah.
Then we've got this Ian Bertram piece, and that's in Mark V's calf gallery from Little Bird. What do we got? Issue 5. So wow.
I love the European comics influence on this, from everything from the kind of the character designs, certainly into the inking, I think feels European to me. I think really the reason I picked this is that top panel I just loved, and the second panel, I loved the brushwork in the background in those top 2 panels, and that, like, I don't know, incredibly cool, like light to dark, like kind of thick to thin with the brush strokes. And I mean, you can clearly see the brush strokes, in the blackness, which almost makes it, even more effective.
Yeah, no, it's very gorgeous, and you're right. The European style, the Mobius kind of feel to some of these, in the anatomy and the line work. But yeah, it's definitely unique to Ian. You can tell his style. I mean, it's gorgeous, and I liked it. And it was funny. I couldn't really figure out why, but I liked the first 2 panels more than I liked the rest of it. I love the work in it. I love this larger panel here, but something about those first 2 panels just got me, the way it was done. But yeah, no, great pick there, and you love you would love all the panels, Marcus. But yes, it's a fantastic piece, and I feel like I don't take a look at Felix's art drops too often. I think I remember when this piece was up there, I really liked it. And at the time, I really liked it because of the 4th panel. But yeah, this is a solid page.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, so Hans, everybody knows Hans. He has a fantastic collection, and wow, here you go. You've got a let's see, let me get my like on this one.
Yeah, so this is from Comic Book Artist magazine,
right?
And yeah, obviously, it was a Mignola featured in the issue, but I know I picked Mignola Hellboy last week, but this just I couldn't not pick this. It's such an, I mean, to me, this is a perfect Mignola Hellboy. This is right for me at the end, I think, of when he was doing his best work on the book, like early 2000s, and I had this magazine sitting on my coffee table for, I don't know, 10 years probably, and I would look at it really regularly. So this image is like just ingrained in my psyche.
No, it's stunning. It really is. And I'm not going to fault you for picking this piece as well. I mean, it is. It's fantastic, and Hans is a man of few words. Cover art to 2003's comic book artist 23. Also published in The Art of Hellboy. Yeah, that makes sense. 90s, early 2000s peak. Yep. I mean, that's, and he said something that a lot of people would probably agree with. He felt that the 90s and early 2000s was peak Hellboy. I mean, a lot of people who were early readers always, I think, feel that way. I mean, I love his stuff to this day, but there is something definitely unique about like those first 6 years of Hellboy that really stand out, the work that he did. So great piece to choose, and congrats to Hans for adding that one to his collection. Now, if Marcus is commenting on it, must be good. What do we got? Al Milgrom, Joe Sinnott, West Coast Avengers cover.
So I have never picked Al Milgrom before, and I may never pick Al Milgrom again. But as I said before, this is my comic book reading formative years, and I loved West Coast Avengers back in the day. Silver Centurion Iron Man was my favorite Iron Man armor. I thought Wonder Man was so cool. Ironically, maybe not ironically, oddly, West Coast Avengers got me into reading Avengers, which I know is the inverse certainly of most people.
Right.
But I kind of became an Avengers fan by reading West Coast Avengers, and it was just because Silver Centurion Iron Man was in this book. So anyway.
See, I don't know if I ever read West Coast Avengers. I hate to say it. But
Byrne had a run.
He did. I must have picked up some of the early ones, but I don't know. But yeah, it's a decent cover at the end of the day. I've always liked Al Milgrom for whatever weird reason, and he gets Sinnott inks in this, so that's about as good as you're going to get. I think it was with a compliment to him. So let's see here. So Nick Postic is the collector here. Lives in Canada, has been a member of the site for almost 18 years. Wow, that's pretty good, Nick. That's a name I'm not familiar with on CAF. So not bad. I'm going to have to check out the rest of his CAF gallery after the show. Then I know we've got a Nathan, let's see, I forgot the last name now. Nathan Hanley, sorry. And this is a Moon Knight piece by Kevin Nolan, a back cover image, but that is really nice. It's even with the skull on it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's I think Marcus actually said in his comment about this exactly what I thought, which was it has like a paperback book cover, like a novel feel to it.
Yeah.
But in this case of it, it looks like it would come from like a cheap detective novel or something like that. But it's Moon Knight. And, I've made no secret about the fact that I worship Kevin Nolan. So this was an easy pick for me.
I assume you're going to tune into that show I'm doing with Kevin.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking forward to that one myself. I mean, he did such a good interview with Scott Dunbier, and now I get to interview him too. I didn't think we were going to get that opportunity, but yeah, that's a really nice piece. And I love seeing stuff like that on CAF. So Nathan Hanley. I feel like I haven't been in Nathan's CAF gallery. I'm sure I have, but I'm going to have to check out his CAF gallery when this thing is over with. What is Jiggy 100% agreeing with Marcus? Dark Wanda?
I think he's talking about the paperback book cover feel.
The feel, yes. There you go.
Yeah, and the more we're talking about this, and the more I look at this, the more I like it.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a well-balanced image. I mean, especially, with using Moon Knight to kind of give you the top of the skull there. I mean, it's just a very well-constructed page, and it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
The band of black through the middle, that highlights the character's face. So well done. Very cool.
What year was this done? Do you know?
Oh, let's see. I'm going to guess 85, 86.
83.
Okay.
Wow. Well, yeah. Wow. That's I had no idea. That's fantastic. Cyclops was right. That's right, Jiggy. You got that right, my friend. 3 more pieces here for Chris. This one's a collection of Max Fargo. And see, I knew we had this one coming, a Silvestri Dan Green page. And I think this Wasn't this one of the ones in the Heritage auction? Maybe I'm crazy.
I don't know. Wasn't really paying attention to the signature auction.
I mean, I know a lot of people, once they win an auction, they like to put the art in there. Or maybe I'm wrong. I feel like this might have been, but I love this page. I mean, this is really, really nice. You got pretty much all the characters you'd want on it from X-Men during this period, and a Mohawk Storm, right?
Mohawk Storm, right, for sure. And there, for me, Colossus is on here. He's in the Silvestri kind of era costume. They're fighting each other, which I think is always cool. They're in fighting, which X-Men probably do better than most. I think one of the criticisms that we hear frequently about not Silvestri necessarily, but about like the pages, like the originals from this era, is that they're so talky, and you don't get a lot of like action pages. And so when you see something like this where like spirals on it and like, they, like I said, they're fighting, and this is like, even for a Silvestri green page, this is a really well inked page.
Yeah, I like it. Even now that I realized that it wasn't Storm, it was Mystique, but it's okay.
Well, she's as Storm, right?
Yes, exactly. But no, it's a great page, absolutely great page. So congrats to Max for this pickup. And you're right, they were too talky during a lot of that. I mean, can you imagine if Silvestri was just allowed to like draw action page after? I mean, that would have been baller, as we know.
Foggy would say, yeah. But then the art would probably be 5 times more expensive.
It probably would. So we have to be thankful for those quiet moments. Let's see. Well, I hate the fact my browser just likes to refresh everything when I go to it these days. But Kieran Dwyer, page from Captain America 361, and this is in Alberto Gonzalez's calf gallery.
So I love Captain America. Kieran Dwyer had a really long and really solid run on this book. But the reason I picked this is because this was such a weird era in storytelling in Captain America. And it was kind of like, what are we doing with the character? We're not sure. You never knew what was going to happen month in, month out in this book, which is perfectly illustrated on this page by the fact that he's fighting a mummy.
Yikes, it is a mummy. Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? But the artwork is beautiful.
It is. It's got a Zek feel to it, in my opinion. Especially that 4th panel. That's a pretty Zek-y face.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's a nice page.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to imagine the mummy and all that. But Alberto, nice pickup. I know Alberto's been getting some decent pages of late, and this is another nice one. Let's see. We got one more page here. Dwyer is fire, says Marcus. All right, let me get the like on this one. So Jason Moreno's calf gallery. This is Batman fighting a giant dragon. I mean, I can't imagine the storyline for this one, but it's a gorgeous image.
I didn't read the book, but look at this. I mean, from a design standpoint, like this is a feat, right? I mean, look how, it's in thirds, so it's kind of like that classic like thirds composition.
Mm-hmm.
But all the negatives like are so perfect, highlighting the skyscrapers, and then the curved image of the dragon. Batman's like lost here, right? I mean, he is and he isn't. I don't mean that in a bad way, but like Batman is almost inconsequential, is what I should say, because all the action is this massive dragon smashing these like big glass buildings, and then you've got little Batman up there with his spear, and it's such a heroic image at the same time, in spite of how inconsequential he is to the overall composition.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's I look at it and I think like this is a Daniel Warren Johnson kind of composition with the tiny figure. The emphasis is on all these other things, but that ends up being what's so exciting about it. And but yeah, this is I love this. I love this image a lot. And I didn't see this one in calf until you picked it, so I'm glad you did. It would have been a shame to have not seen this one. So I hope everybody else feels the same way. So all right, and again, Jason Moreno. Okay, I've got my like on there. I got to set this set of tabs aside because I need to check out those 2 calf galleries later. So let me get my set here for everybody. Move that and present line. Come on. I need like yeah, exactly. This thing is just so clunky. I want, if I could only save my tabs. All right, here we go. So somebody who always posts a lot of nice stuff, of course, is Khalil. And I haven't featured anything from his calf gallery in a while, but I always see his stuff and it's like, oh, it's always on the cusp. It's never makes the cut. So I was like, you know what? Today I'm gonna go with this piece by Trevor Hairsine, Pencils and Inks. I just thought this was a fun image. Khalil always writes a really great description on most of the pieces he gets, so it's always fun to go through and read them. I know that he really liked this piece and he's talking about how he, well, obviously Black Panther's a major character that he collects, and he was saying how he always wanted a Panther versus Doom. He always liked this image. I think it's from 13-ish years ago. So it doesn't do it justice to be zoomed in on it. You kind of have to look at it like this. I just thought the composition on it is just fun. I mean, as an overall image, and what's not to like when you get Black Panther and Doctor Doom in a battle?
Right, the two kind of monarchs facing off. But the thing I like the most about this, and I guess I would say this about all Trevor Hairsine, stylistically, he's really unique. In like what I like about his style is how kind of ragged it is. It's really like uneven, kind of like bumpy, lumpy, but at the same time, like it gives it like grit and kind of like there's a like hefty feel to the characters.
Well, I like it. I've always liked Trevor's work too. There were multiple pieces with this one. If I go down here, he had like this pencil piece, which I thought was freaking awesome. I almost like the other than the published piece. I mean, look at that. That is really really slick. When I saw that
energy in that.
And there was I forget what the others were like. So I didn't read through what each piece was. The story for
that looks like processy, kind of like self-editing, like going to blue line and then repenciling some stuff.
Sure. Was there one more? Yeah, then even a more rougher, but yeah, that's kind of cool. And that's right. I do remember him stating that when he made the purchase, he was surprised to get 4 pieces of art rather than just 1.
I think that's awesome. I mean, for people, George Hodge, I know, is a big fan of like kind of the behind the scenes stuff too. Like for people who are into the, the creation, the process of like coming, getting to the end result. That's a great point, Marcus. That's just icing on the cake is, getting all that behind the scenes stuff is great.
Very true. So congrats to Khalil. That was a great one. And then I know I pick a lot of Perkins stuff, but I do love his work a great deal. And this was Deathlock Page from 2015. I don't know. There's just not a whole lot to say about it. I mean, it's just everything that I love about Mike's work is right here. I mean, it's funny when you see a piece like this and contrast it with like the Swamp Thing stuff that we're seeing. It's just he's so versatile as an artist, and this feels metallic. I mean, the whole the hallways in him,
the textures,
all the textures, right? I mean, Perkins is just a master, and this thing is gorgeous. I really
razor cuts,
right? I mean, this is great. Who's Calf Galleries? I didn't even bother to look. I just picked the art, and I was like, I know it.
Isn't it?
Oh, all right. Yeah. Yes, it is. Well, he's got good taste. We know.
Well, that. I was gonna pick this, and then I was like, well, I picked something from him last week, so.
There you go.
But yeah, I love this too.
See, how did you man, you're on top of stuff. I sometimes I'm not paying attention to who owns what, but yeah, this is a beauty. Congrats to Jason on that one. Then here was my pick for the show image, of course, Sienkiewicz Batman. What's not to love about the color scheme and it being Sienkiewicz? Those bats in the background, just kind of
the one red eye.
Right. I mean,
I can't get over it.
I know. This is just such a great image. I love this piece to death. The orange moon. I mean, man, everything about this is just it has everything in it I'd want in a Sienkiewicz piece. And again, I'm not a big DC guy. I'd love to own this piece just because it is one of like it's a perfect example of Bill's work. I mean, it's perfect.
You would be in my opinion, you'd be hard pressed to find a cooler Batman piece to have in anybody's collection. This is incredible. I love it.
Yeah, the glow. Marcus says, yeah, true. I mean, everything. Yeah, this so well thought out, and it's tough to pull off. This is a very dark painting too.
Yeah.
He really has got a lot of detail in this piece, even with as dark a palette as he had to work with here. So, wow.
And it's got so many Sienkiewicz hallmarks in it too. I mean, like there's so much Sienkiewicz technique on display here. The red dots and like I guess kind of glossy, washed out elements in the background and like on the kind of left side of Batman there. I mean, just stuff that almost like lens flare that we kind of associate with his paintings.
Mm-hmm.
This is gorgeous.
No, was this okay? It was poster, blah blah, fine art print. But yeah, does it have a year on it? Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, let's see. Nope, I don't know. I don't even want to look at that. I don't want to look at that image. Why is there a black and white image of that? Like they actually thought it would be wise to not have it be in color.
Not right, exactly.
Why would they do that? That's crazy.
Let's look at it.
All right, I will. All right, here. Why am I? Yeah, now my every once in a while I can't click on something. There we go. So that was that. Then was it a redo? What the heck?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not the same image.
No, not at all.
It's almost like inspired by.
I guess, right. Is that what was the description here? Batman, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, does it? I'm not sure. I mean, is that Sienkiewicz there? I mean, it doesn't.
It does look like it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird. Yeah, I don't know why they would have done that. Anyway, great image, and again, the CAF Gallery owner's name is BY. So BY. I don't think I've been in BY's CAF Gallery before. Now I picked an Alberto piece too. I'm sorry to say, but
Alberto's not sorry.
I know he's not, and he shouldn't be. John Romita Jr., Klaus Janson, Captain America 6 cover. I mean, this is one of my favorite Cap images, of all time. I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there, but I mean, I've just always really loved this image of Cap. I mean, in the rain, it's just so well done, and you get these two guys working together on a piece like this, and it's just magical. And I've always loved this image, and seeing Alberto's Cap. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to behold. So, sorry, I'm trying to read through the chat a little bit, but yeah, what's not to love in this one, Chris?
Yeah, I almost picked this myself as well. It's they're doing what they do best, right? There's the like gritty, determined hero like marching through the rain. Like this is like almost a trope for these two, but there's a reason, which is that it's incredibly effective every time they do it. Whenever they pair up and you see an image like this, you're like, oh yeah.
Yes, indeed. Sorry, I'm reading through the chat. Wayne said that the black and white image was a cover for the Batman comic. The black and white was first and was published as Batman King. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That is very interesting. So anyway, but yeah, this is a great image. I've always loved it. I had to pick it, and I actually picked this after you had Alberto. So I guess we broke a lot of rules tonight, and we haven't even gotten to the one that I broke with
guidelines.
Yes, we need to screw the guidelines tonight. All right, so this was in Cobby's CAF Gallery. It's Declan Shelby, but I just thought this was such a fun image. I always love, when you see stuff like this and you try to figure out, well, what are the small images that make up that bigger image? I just thought this was fun. I mean, as an image for as a piece of illustration, I thought this was really, really cool. I think I'm looking at it now. I think it's as cool as it was when I first saw it. I love the thoughtfulness that went into this, I'd love to talk to Kavi about, what when he saw it, was it like love at first sight? Was it something that grew on him and then he had to buy it? but I do. I just love images like this, and I, as an artist, I can't imagine all the thought that had to go into trying to work out the tonal stuff here. I mean, some of it's done just where he's using a color to kind of make the neckline and changing that, but in these other places, I mean, he's kind of incorporated the imagery into it, so it's fun. Mm-hmm. It's a fun image, and just something that I don't think we've ever seen something like that done in a piece of comic art before, right? I mean, we see it in advertising.
I mean, it's a mosaic, right? It's really like a mosaic, and the individual tiles or these, individual little illustrations. I think it's really cool too. It's like it's almost like an exercise. Declan challenging himself, which I think is cool. And the fact that this is a comic book cover almost makes it more unique in a way, because this isn't something, to your point, you don't see stuff like this that's on the cover of a comic.
No. So it's an awesome image. And did I just see that there was a photo? Because I didn't scroll down before. Me and Declan at New York City. Let's see. There you go.
Cool.
And I know Kavi posted
the Wolvie cover.
Yeah, as well. I thought about the Wolvie cover, and then I saw that one. I was like, nah, I like that one better.
I thought about the Wolvie cover too, because I was hoping Fish would be in the audience and we could talk about that tree for a while.
Yeah, that would be fun. So Wayne's still talking about that. Sienkiewicz, he said, I could have purchased both of Bill's Batman at San Diego, but I preferred the black and white one over the painted version in person. Cool. I'd have to go back and look at them more. I mean, I think they're both interesting, but the color one really was captivating.
I was going to say that black and white one must be really something really unique in person, because the color one just blows me away.
Yeah. But congrats to Kavi on both of those posts to CAF. Let me get the like on here. And I'm looking at this. This reminds me of the Green Room. They're a new outfit out of Spain, and I think they still haven't launched their website. They told me to turn their ad on at the beginning of March, and they're still. I'm just out of curiosity.
She's threatening that it's coming week, I think.
Is that what it is? Because I'm gonna have to. I was thinking of emailing them, because I think I have to renew their ad for the month of April. I keep forgetting. I have a note somewhere, a post-it note somewhere that says email the Green Room and see what's going on, because they jumped the gun on their ad on CAF.
She posted a Pepe Larraz Amazing Spider-Man cover today and said that it's going to be part of the Green Room opening, so that'll generate some excitement, I'm sure.
Definitely. Well, I mean, hey, I'm sure putting the ad out there has got more signups and stuff for them too, so that's got to be helping. And I saw that I think they're working with Comic Sketch Art to get some of their artists in the U.S. this summer.
Or was it Scott's Collectibles?
Oh, it's Scott's Collectibles. You're right. It was Scott's Collectibles. Right. Why did I say? Well, yeah, it makes sense that it would be Scott's, because they're in the UK, right? So working with another European group. So okay, well, I diverged a little bit there. So here's a Jeff Deckel, or is it Deckel?
I say Deckel.
Deckel. That's what I thought. This is in Greg and Amanda Spatz CAF Gallery. Of course,
cool.
They have an amazing stuff. This was commissioned before WonderCon, so I guess he was able to then pick it up at WonderCon. And I just love this. The image is just so soft and it's so well done. And I mean, it looks like we got some ink and some pencil work in there. Just a fun piece. I mean, as a Harley Quinn, I mean, it's not, you're not worrying about her costume or anything. You're really just trying to capture the character. And this is something that it's kind of reminiscent of 50s pinup art, the way it's the pose is done and the emphasis on the face. I just, I love the image a lot. I mean, it's just fun and beautiful, and congrats to Greg and Amanda on this one.
I think it's a cool composition. I like how much negative space there is in it, like when you look at it as a whole.
Yeah.
And I like the way they chose to crop the figure on the lower right. I think that's cool, like from the shape of the figure. Yeah, really well done. It really, like, if you look at the whole piece, it's like really effectively, it's balanced, while at the same time it's definitely like all, like off center to the right.
Yeah, agreed. It's a lovely piece of art. Let's see, I got 4 more pieces to go, and this is my first of 2 pieces by Scalera. This is from Batman White Knight Presents. Just a marvelous piece. I mean, I love this thing to death. I love the cityscape. I love the perspective with the character. I love the inset panel. I mean, this is just it's amazing. It's a gorgeous piece of art, and I don't need to know anything about the story to just love, have been smitten by this image. And I love the flat tones. I mean, you can't even say they're flat, but when I look at her costume, going from like her ankle upper thigh to her stomach area. I mean, it's just a very subtle change in color, but it's so well done. I mean, the more I'm looking at it, the more my brain doesn't work like that as an artist. But when I look at this, and this whole thing just works so well.
Well, I think it's interesting that you say flat, because I feel like what you're actually saying is even.
Even, yes, that is a much better word.
The application, because the application of the ink is so even as to almost be like it looks, it's not, but it almost looks airbrushed in parts because of how even it is.
Yeah, no, you're right. Even is the right word. But yeah, and then looking at it, blowing it up like this, I'm looking at the cityscape. I'm not even looking at the character anymore. Look at all the fine lines and detail in those buildings behind there. That's just dang unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Yeah, I love this piece of art. Well, yeah, see, I think this was one of my favorite pieces of the week right there. And this was in Paul Martini's CAF gallery. I've been in Paul's CAF gallery before. He's got a lot of great artwork, and this is a fine addition to it. This one here is my nostalgic pick of the week, is Sal Buscema, Joe Sinnott, FF 183 page. There's a thing, the ever-loving thing on this one, Chris.
That's a great shot of his face there, too.
Isn't it? I mean, and I'll be honest,
panel in the third panel.
Yes, indeed, the third panel.
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost from that one image that kind of suckered me into saying, all right, I got to go with this one, because
he's gorgeous.
It is everything you'd want in an FF page for this era. I mean, and they throw Tigra in here too, and Thundra, right? I mean, so the ladies are. I didn't even see the Invisible Woman in the shop earlier when I was looking at it, but yeah, this is a great page. I mean, I'm looking at it now. I'd love to own this page. So, but yeah, nostalgic pick 100%.
It's a doozy.
It is a doozy. If this were on Dueling Dealers, it would sell in 5 seconds, because
5 seconds.
It's just got everything you'd want, man. I mean, I'm looking at it now. It's like, I want to own this page. So Lee Banaka, we know Lee has, of course, incredible taste and an incredible collection. And even though I can't tell what's going on in that fourth panel at all, it doesn't matter, because I love every other panel. So, the supremely bestial borers, they're eating something. I don't know.
You bet.
But anyway, great page. Congrats to Lee for that one. I mean, when you have a CAF gallery room labeled Fantastic Four 164 to 206, you've got. Right? How do you do that? I can't. I don't even have enough FF art to label a room.
An FF gallery, right?
But he's got a room labeled 164 to 206. I'm going to go back. I'm going to see, because I don't think I've gone into that room before. But wow. All right, Lee. Now we talked about Grell a little earlier, inked by Wrightson. But I mean, when I saw this, the Warlord page, I just love, I love that second panel in this one. Finger pointing out to exactly what you'd want out of a Warlord image by Grell. I mean, the panel layouts are fun. The guy on horseback breaking over the panel. I mean, going into a Warlord's ear or whatever the heck is going on there. I mean, it's just, it all works, and it's cool. And I mean, I actually I didn't read Warlord a ton, but it was one of the few other DC books that I would pick up periodically, because I love Grell's work, and anything that was like kind of a mix of fantasy sci-fi I thought was cool. And this is just an exemplary image by Grell, and it's Coletta inks.
Wow, that surprises me. I've not been a huge Grell fan in the past. I love how much you love Warlord, and I think that you should consider growing the Travis Morgan mustache and goatee combo.
I could try that. I don't know how well I would do.
They don't join. You notice that? Like, they don't join. Like,
no, they don't.
Here, and then he's got his mustache curled up. You could pull that off, Bill.
I could. I mean, I wonder if I could buy a Warlord helmet. That would be interesting.
For sure.
I could do some really great memes for dueling dealers if I could do that.
Obscure DC memes.
That even I don't know the joke.
You gotta call Derek Crabb and be like, "Hey, what do you think about?" Yeah.
Yes, 2 thumbs up or 1 thumb down. But yeah, I like this image a lot. I mean, the horses look a little small now that I'm looking at
I
it.
think that's actually isn't there a classic Warlord cover where he's doing that same, like he's pointing?
Oh yeah,
image?
yeah, exactly. It might even be from this issue. I don't know, but
That could be the cover scene.
Could be. Very nice image though, and I like it. Joe Murray's calf gallery. So finally, my last piece of the night. This was another Scalera. This is the Black Science Compendium cover by him, and I just thought this was just a very smart image. I love the fact that it's it's so dark and so light.
Great design.
And I love design and execution on this piece is wonderful. I mean, the upside down image on the bottom, it's like a fisheye lens effect, and it really doesn't do it justice to kind of look at these separate, but I was just taken by this image as well. I mean, and it's very dissimilar to that other image in a lot of Scalera's work. This one, I love that top part. It's just so heavy, so dark.
Graphic.
Yeah, very again, yeah, absolutely. So let me swing back and just look at the whole thing in its entirety. I just love the overall design of it. I just feel I'm looking at it now and I'm just stunned. I love it. It could be a cover to anything, a science fiction novel, you name it.
Kind of what it is. I mean, he is, I think, I follow him on Instagram and he's been posting so we had the Punisher cover a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
I actually think, and this is not a dig as an illustrator, because I think he's an amazing, incredible illustrator. I think he's a better designer than he is an illustrator, and that's saying something because I think he's an incredible artist. But the thought that went into putting this piece together, to planning this piece and what he wanted it to look like, I think is even more impressive than the execution.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's beautiful, and Raj says it's even better in person. And I already got my like on that.
Cool.
This is in Raj's calf gallery, another amazing calf gallery. If you haven't been in it in a while, you should definitely check it out.
Great pickup, Raj. It's gorgeous.
Raj, it'll be your 2-year anniversary, May 1st. So congratulations. Thank you for being a premium member. We appreciate that. But this is it's a great image. I mean, it's just so slick. I loved it from the moment I saw it. So I thought, 2 Scaleras. All right, I'm going to do it. So we broke a lot of rules today.
It's all right.
Yeah, no one's going to fault us. Exactly. Yeah. So Chris, it was fun. How'd you like your intro music? It's going to change every week, by the way. I don't know what
it gives me something new to look forward to every Thursday. Then
exactly.
Never-ending excitement.
Yeah, but hey, so I booked my hotel for Heroes, so I'm official now. I've done that.
All set.
Yeah, and what else did I get done? But that's the main thing I'm focused on, is just trying to think about Heroes and prep for that. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be there the whole day on Sunday. I'm driving up with Kazra. Instead of flying in, he wanted to drive. I think he's bringing his girlfriend or something like that. So I was like, I'll drive halfway if you want. I mean, it sounds like a foot, I mean, for the length of time it would take me to get to the airport and fly and then get over there.
Do the thing.
I might as well just drive. It'd be a lot more interesting.
Well, and then have a car, whatever, if you want to leave and do something, or,
That's true. I won't have to Uber.
Charlotte Beer Garden.
That's right.
I'm just as an example.
We're gonna put the Untapped app to good use.
Your phone will be smoking by Sunday.
Oh man. Well, other than that, anything else new going on? I mean, in your life, have you picked up any new art in the last 2 weeks?
In the last 2 weeks, you know what? Jeff Wedding got me my my prize, so I have my my Liberty Legion Icicle Hembeck just showed up. But as far as stuff that I've actually picked up, no, I do have high hopes for that green room opening day. That's my next target, is hoping that I can pick up something from Pepe Larraz.
Cool. It's good that that they've got that hype built around it. I mean, I think that mean, I know they wanted to be open a month ago. So I mean, again, it's better to get it right than to launch on with something that isn't exactly the way you want it.
Yeah, you get one chance to do it, right?
Yeah, but that's cool. I mean, I got to make a note to email them, because I'm sure they have to want me to do some special PR for them. But again, everybody who hasn't gone to the green room and signed up for their mailing list, please do it. That it is competition for Chris, but it is what it is.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't listen to Bill, everybody. He's high on goofballs.
Yes, exactly. I'm coming down. I'm withdrawal. That was funny though last week. I mean, Maureen looked at it and she's like, I don't think you were supposed to take all those at one time. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, Bill, it says, one at breakfast, 2 at lunch, 1 at dinner, 1 before bed. And I'm like, Maureen, I took 6 of those at one time.
You're like, I feel fine, Larry.
Oh man, never again. But anyway, yeah. Hembex can be used for a lot of board games. That's probably true.
Oh, B&G is right. It's Jack Frost.
Not Icicle, Jack Frost.
Icicle from DC on the brain for some reason. But yeah, this is from Liberty Legion, Marvel.
All right. Well, this was a very educational night for us all, I believe. But thank you, Nick. Hey, Nick, it was a great show as always, in part because you were a part of the show tonight. We certainly appreciate that. And as everybody knows, Nick has his show tomorrow at 7. So tune in. The EXP, that is right. He may have his green pants on. You never know with Nick Ferrucci. So thank you one and all for tuning in tonight. Chris, thank you of course for being a great co-host here for the segment. And Chris, you get to say goodnight, everybody.
Happy to do it. Night, everybody.
See ya.